I call the meeting to order. We're gonna call the meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all.
Okay. We have a, what do we call it, dual meeting? Hybrid meeting, hybrid meeting, so it's all roll call,
Yes.
all votes. Roll call, go ahead, Michelle.
Do you want to call up your names and? Diana Saunders,
Joel Rose.
Yeah.
Dan Burns. All shit.
Michelle Barris,
John LaFosse. Chris Sennett.
Kelly Sardinia,
Kelly, yeah.
John Burrows.
Yeah,
All right,
And that's it.
okay.
They're hybrid.
All right, we'll go right into open mic, 3 minutes per speaker. If you want extra time, just let me know.
Anybody for open mic?
Open mic right
It's
here.
open mic, just anything.
Oh, open mic over here.
All right.
One second.
Tom,
Yeah, it's
there we
Tom,
go.
Tom, Matt, and Marty from Thomas Talbot Lodge.
Okay.
Just wanted to just provide a brief update on the Ditson event that is coming up on Sunday. The weather is not looking great, but we are planning to do it rain or shine at this point. If it's the weather's great, then we will be outside in front of the school with a reception afterwards in the cafetorium of the school. And if it's not, we'll host everything in the cafetorium. And so that's where we're at. We have, I think I mentioned during the last meeting, we have the Aleppo Minutemen, Billerica Minutemen, Sons of the American Revolution. We have Troop 11 will be there to present the colors. Speaker system all ready to go. We got a podium, so we'll be good. If you could just continue, just ask the committee to continue to plug the event and see how many people we can get. Is there anything else from the lodge members?
Nothing I can think of. Nothing I got.
All right, that's all we got.
Awesome.
Happy
Fantastic.
to answer
Tom.
if anyone has any.
Yeah, if you have any questions, just let us know.
Okay.
Michelle, that's on the website anyways, right?
Yes.
The event.
Obviously, you've noticed the sign hasn't been updated. We'll try to figure that out as quick as possible.
Robert Mayer did respond to me
Perfect.
at the end of the day,
Okay,
like right before we left here, and just said, oh, thanks.
okay,
So I don't know what the answer.
okay. All right, looks like one of us will be doing ourselves. All right.
And did you,
No, you know how we were speaking to a couple weeks ago, you guys.
For the tournaments?
About the tournament.
All right, if you want, we can do it after, or if you wanna go
No,
now.
we can do
Up to
that,
you.
whatever,
All
go
right.
ahead. and
You
continue.
can come right to the table. Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
All right,
Thank
okay.
you.
You're welcome.
We like you. Thank you. Okay.
All right. Anyone else for open mic? Going once?
no, but yeah.
Who?
Anybody?
Nope, I don't see anybody's hand raised. No. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Going twice. 3 times. All right.
They're done.
Okay, I was asked to discuss the open meeting law response from town council. Let's have a discussion. I know you, go ahead.
Well, as far as I know, the whole thing was nonsense. And according to town council, everything was nonsense. And I don't know why in the notes here, it says they spoke to you, Dan. I don't know why they spoke to you when Michelle's the one that put in the complaint, which wasn't,
I was the chairman at the time, that's why.
Correct.
and so all that. I would like to say the one thing is that, I understand open meeting violations and all that. There wasn't one. So you want to make that clear, there wasn't one. Going to town council, and we're wasting money on town council for these things. That, we, as a community, I think we could speak to each other. If there was a problem, then I think you could say, hey, Chris, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
Or hey, Diana, whatever. I think it's just out of respect without costing the town more money for no good reason. Considering that the secretary's notes said one thing and the open meeting violation said the exact opposite. So there was no way that there was an open meeting violation at all. So that's all I have to say.
Okay. My comment is that it is in the past. We are to move forward. Anything that happened prior, let's keep a steady foot forward. All right,
that's fine.
I think we can all agree. Tempers are down, everything's going good. We have been making progress, so let's continue on that path.
Yep.
All right, can we let
That's
bygones be bygones? Yes. All right, cool. Anything else? On that? Nope. Good? No? Okay. All right. Discussion and vote on changing subcommittee structure. It was brought to my attention that in order for us to have subcommittees, each committee has to have a public meeting. And if we only have 3 members on it, if you have 2 talking, it's quorum. It's almost not feasible to have.
Say that again.
So because we're a select board committee, any subcommittees have to have public meetings posted and they have to have minutes. Logistically, I don't think it's possible. If anybody else has an idea that they want, if they want to continue down that, that's totally up to them. My understanding is if we have 3 members on a committee, on a subcommittee, 2 people's a quorum, which would lead to potential problems. My suggestion, and Kat actually brought it up to me, was having a lead person for each item. That is going to allow them to run with it. They can have as many people assisting them as they'd like. But one person reports back with what they've founded, what they're doing, back to the main committee. Does everyone, that make sense?
Chair, if I can add one
Yeah.
other detail as far as when it's worth having a subcommittee or not.
Okay.
Does this committee want to delegate any decision-making authority to that subcommittee? And
Okay.
that is why the subcommittee would need to properly notice any of the conversations that they're having with themselves, is if they had any decision.
Okay.
But if you say a random project A
Mhm.
is going to be John's point, he can talk with anybody that he wants, short of creating a quorum by the chain, just like any other committee.
Okay.
But he doesn't take any decisions, he doesn't take any actions, he just researches and brings it back to the regular full committee for any actual deliberation and discussion.
Okay.
So you lose some power with your smaller group,
Yep.
but you don't have that paper. to do it.
Correct.
So that's the fair.
Okay. That would, for that, I would say we have fundraising committee. Do we have 4 members on that committee?
You have at least 4 members on each of these committees.
Do we?
Since the last meeting, we added them.
Okay. So maybe
we're
we'll,
looking at fundraising, just.
yeah, the big committees, fundraising,
So we have
school.
1, 2, 4 people on that committee.
on fundraising. Okay, so, should we go, do you guys wanna go through the whole list and figure out which we wanna have an actual committee for?
We can, I mean, the danger that you're running into is that any decisions now require this entire board to show up.
Yep.
To make any decision
Mhm.
versus having a subcommittee team
Mhm.
that is gonna go out and run with it and report back
Okay.
with the things that they've decided.
Okay.
Some majority vote.
So I would say, what committees do you think are core? I'll leave it up to the committee as far as what is core for big decisions that they can kind of make within their own selves. Because I would think a fundraising committee, anybody that has a typical fundraising idea can go right to that subcommittee and produce it, so.
Yeah, I mean, anyone can talk to the subcommittee, but if you wanna make progress, right?
Mhm.
Unless you're gonna meet every month, every week, right?
Mhm.
So that the subcommittees can actually make or the team can make some progress. You need the subcommittees to be able to drive each of the, so if you wanna do something in the center, you want a few people going out, figuring out the logistics, the
Mhm.
costs, whatever, and then bringing it back to the committee and saying, here's what we're thinking, here's the cost, here's the thing.
Yep.
And now the group decides whether we're gonna go forward.
Okay,
But you need those groups to be able to do it. So whether it's the center, activity, whether it's fundraising or anything else. We don't want to hamstring ourselves by meeting the 12 people here all the time. When 3, 4 people can go and get all the data.
Mhm.
And then when a decision is made, bring it to the team. They're not spending any money, they're not making it. Their job is to scope the project and say, this is what we can do, how we do it, and quotes, whatever, and then this committee makes that decision.
Okay, so, right, because right now we have what, 12 or 13 subcommittees?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus the school that we just added.
11. Go ahead, Gil.
So, excuse me, because I'm old school in the days when we could make decisions well. Actually got things done at times, so let me just have a scenario. Yeah, the fundraising group is important.
Mhm.
There are a lot of things that have to be done to allow it to be successful, like no one's gonna contribute if they're not getting the knowledge. As far as big money goes.
Yep.
Anybody that runs a business knows that, right? So are you saying these 4 people can't get together to discuss who are we gonna approach? What are we gonna offer them in return for their approach? And how much do we want to ask for? That's kind of an important decision that the group has to go, but that group can't meet without having minutes. Is
Correct.
That group to make their own decisions, then they need to form an actual subcommittee, file an agenda for when they're going to meet, file minutes for the outcomes of what they've decided.
But if they're
If
not.
they're just researching and reporting back to your next, what you meet twice a month.
Yeah.
So if they're just researching and then reporting back, this whole board is still the one, this whole committee is still the one making the actual decisions. You don't need to designate them as a subcommittee. Those 4 people can just go do.
They come
command.
back, have ideas, make recommendations, the board votes.
Correct.
Yes.
But the
So-
question, oh, sorry, go ahead.
So you don't go crazy making meetings, minutes and worrying about them being attacked. Okay,
Yeah, so the question is there a particular amount of, or a particular subcommittee that we want to have authority over? Have their own power?
I would say the fundraising, because doing a fundraiser, you have to have, everything's timed. So, you have to do the letter, if you're gonna send out letters to companies or big companies, it's all time consuming.
Mhm.
So if you're gonna write a letter, then you have to come back here, get it approved, then you have to send it out. I think that the fundraising committee should be able to have their own meetings and do their notes or do their agenda.
So it sounds like we're saying that if we have this lead person, the lead person on the committee comes back and talks to the committee and gets a vote, either yes or no, would you would be able to go out and get all this information and come in and say, we recommend that this is what we do. But if we give them their own power, then they can make decisions about how we're gonna spend our money.
Correct.
I think that's a mistake.
Okay.
You're putting that at 4 people's hands, and I really don't think 4 people should have that.
as a member of that committee, I agree with you 100%.
And I mean, if Diane, if the fundraising committee goes out and does all this research and comes back and says, this is a great plan,
Mhm.
we've done all the research, and this is what we want to do. I don't need to know everything else that was deliberated. I just bring this to us and say, this is what we'd like to do, and yes or no.
However, allowing them a certain amount of funds as the main committee, saying, here's 1,000, do what you will, but they still have the ability to delegate the power within themselves, I think would alleviate this committee a little bit.
Just like we did at the last meeting where we said, okay, we got $250.
Correct. But now we're just giving it to the 4, because eventually it's gonna be,
And
so,
they can make their own decisions about how they're running.
but we're gonna limit their spending power, or, yeah, perfectly, okay, yeah.
So if we say whatever amount it is, 100,000, 5,000, whatever, is it for the life of this committee? Or is it for a certain?
I would think,
Something.
I would think they could always come back and ask for more, we can allot more.
I mean, every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because typically, we
Whatever
gotta
you
just.
deliberate in
there's
the
a
vote,
budget.
that's
Yeah.
what.
That's what they, yeah, so if you needed more money, say we need more money, we say how much, and then we vote, yes, I.
Okay, being on fundraising committees before, you don't really need any money. The money would come after the fact. So like you give the fundraising committee the power to, fundraise, go out there and you don't have to put out money to fundraise.
You won't need any initial funds?
No initial funds. If you need initial funds, then you would come to the committee because, so nobody can accuse anybody of any hanky panky. Just come when you need the money.
But what if it's time sensitive? You don't want to have a small nest
We're meeting twice a month.
and something could happen within 2 weeks.
That's true.
So if it was, even if it was.
Copies or something,
Yeah.
for flyers or something, you gotta go to state,
It was,
at least they have $200 and say, okay, go make
Exactly.
1,000 flyers, save the money.
I mean, Diana's the treasurer right now, so.
I thought we were gonna go see Cat.
I'm just hypothetical.
Yeah, if you had to pick up funds.
Yeah.
For what, you know what I mean? So at least you have some funds. I don't think it's a bad idea.
If you're gonna do that, then I'd say start the committee out small, $500 and,
500.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
250.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
well, $500, I'm thinking, if you're doing,
So let me go back. If you give a budget to fundraising. And the fundraising committee discusses what are we gonna do with it. That's more formal than coming back and saying we want to do this with $500, do great.
So the 500 is they can spend at their discretion as a subcommittee. If they need more funds for anything in particular that they're running, which they shouldn't, because by that point you're already fundraising and then we would have to allocate your money anyways.
right.
This is just more of,
So I think you're defining when a subcommittee needs to have a meeting and when not. If you're gonna give them money.
Yep.
Right, then that should be a meeting.
So they
because
should.
they're making votes and decisions on how that money will be spent. Versus they're just discussing plans, creating ideas and whatever. That's, that's great. And then they report back to the committee.
Yep.
thing. So, if we wanted to give the fundraising committee $500 so that they can put deposits down for, let's say, a room or a band or some item, right? That's great.
Mhm.
But there should be a record of that decision being made.
Mhm.
So that it's in the minute.
well, yeah, so that would be the
minutes.
yeah. But you as the treasurer, we're gonna be getting treasurer reports anyways at some point, I'm assuming.
Right.
Once we start actually spending.
That's where I think
So-
that you're trying.
But I couldn't take, just to make
Uh,
it clear,
That's where I think you're kind of drawing the line, right?
Correct, we just don't want willy-nilly
If
spending.
you're gonna give a
Yeah.
committee money, then they need to, when they vote to use it, they need to have a public meeting to discuss and approve the minute versus they're just going out and somebody's gonna go talk to people. That's a.
Yeah, but this is the thing, if we make it an actual subcommittee, they have to have an agenda posted and they have to, so you would, if you want to be an actual
Yeah.
committee,
do an agenda.
you're gonna have to do an agenda, because I believe you are what do we want, a sub-chair?
They have to make a decision about who the lead person is gonna be.
Okay.
on the committee.
So,
But because Diana's the treasurer, she's probably gonna take the lead on it.
Correct.
And
And,
as you're appointed by the select board, you have to include remote participation for their rules.
say it again?
that was
When you
the,
meet with each
yeah.
other, you have to allow remote participation. You can't just say, we're meeting at Staples to pick out.
Right.
Whatever you might be picking out, so. I can't imagine how that's going to function for any subcommittee,
Well, you pretty much.
but.
Does it have to be on town property? No.
You have a hand raised, so I'm not sure if that's something to add, but.
Kelly?
Hey, look, I figured out how to raise my hand.
Oh, good. Wow, it's a big hand.
No, I would raise my hand because before you guys went further, I agree with what Dan's saying. The funds, the subcommittee's great, but when it comes to the funding part, there has to be a very strict record of all funding. So even if I hate to say it, if a dime's spent, the committee needs to know how that dime is going to be spent. And
Correct.
the subcommittee would, I would think, would come up with an agenda, amounts that they need. Then the chair of that subcommittee would come to this committee and say, we're gonna need X amount for this, X amount for this, X amount for that. The committee says, okay, here's the 400, report back with receipts and everything forward when done, and those all get reported to Diana. That's what.
Yep.
So I agree with what, basically, that's what Dan was saying, so I just kind of.
Okay.
You said Dan.
Sounds to me, if we make the decision
I know.
mobilize this committee with money.
Yep,
It's gonna take about as long as it would take to initiate anything and get it going with minutes and whatever else is needed. As it would take for us to meet every 2 weeks and give a recommendation to the board and get it approved that way. Am I wrong?
well, so I believe you can set up a Zoom meeting with Robert Maynard, and then it doesn't have to be in person, right? Or does it?
It does not have to be in.
So you could do
person.
all Zoom for 45 minutes, but it just has to be publicly posted with an agenda and minutes. Is that doable?
Yeah.
For 10 minutes.
Because I would,
Yeah,
I would turn around and I would let everybody know, I would like to have a meeting within the next 10 days. In order to stop fundraising because we're so behind.
correct. So,
The clerk needs appointment letters for anything that will be an actual subcommittee, and any subcommittee member needs to go and swear in before you can.
Even though we were already sworn in?
You swore in for a committee, not for sub,
All right.
okay, easy enough.
so.
Isn't there like
I
one
have to-
swearing
I-
in to cover everything?
The treasurer, and when the committee authorizes you to spend up to $500 on linens for the gala, you go get up to $500 for linens on the gala, and their vote can say, we don't care what color you can. You have up to $500 for linen, that's just part of what the vote included. You don't need to check with Gil, hey, what color should we get? That wouldn't be something you need to post a notice for. The money has already been approved, the main committee.
Limited to the expenses.
Exactly.
Right, and of course I had the receipts because,
But would
Well,
it
your
have,
treasurer, so yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Can I, would it have to be a subcommittee for, to go through that process?
No, so we had originally started saying subcommittees, really just swap out that word in your head for working group.
Working group. Okay.
And that way it's just you going out, doing the research, doing everything else, and then that working group, which is less than the majority, less than a quorum of the full committee, comes back for any actual deliberation and any actual decision making.
Which would involve finance.
And make with the same power that they would have as a subcommittee, if they would have to come back.
They just can't make any full decisions on their own,
Right.
because the deliberation and the votes happen with the full committee. There is another hand-based stuff.
John,
Hey, Chris, seems like having a subcommittee is more work than it is. If you're meeting every 2 weeks, like you could make a motion for leaflets to spend $150 on leaflets, for them, just to do that. Then they report back at the next meeting instead of scheduling another meeting just goes in circles. So if I'm not on the fundraising committee, I can't go ask, let's say the laborers union for a check.
Okay,
no, you
It just-
could,
it's-
you could,
Yeah.
because you get a letter.
Right.
We have to do a letter first with the,
But if you
250
if you had a standard mission and you had a standard leaflet that everyone had, you could print out 100 of those for nothing. Anyone could have them, if Dan's talking to someone or Chris is, and you just give that instead of having to post the meeting, schedule it, record the minutes, you end up creating more work for itself. This agenda tonight's, I think, got about 45 things on it. Pretty
right, so
impressive.
the fundraising committee would meet separately and discuss. The first, what we have to do first, and then we come back and present it to the committee.
yeah.
The next Tuesday.
Craig,
Yeah,
talk to you.
so, it would, instead of subcommittees, it would be working group,
Working,
That's
exactly the way we've been talking about it for the last 2 months.
correct. I just didn't want us to end up with,
Stop saying subcommittee.
yeah, I just didn't want to, I just want everybody to be informed of which way that was going for subcommittees, where what we'd have to kind of do.
Work group.
Correct.
That's
I- I
what my hand was
assume
up
we're
for.
spending money that you don't see anyway.
Sure.
And-
Yeah, yeah,
So we seem to be there. We've got working groups,
working groups.
come up with suggestions,
Hmm.
and maybe put a dollar amount to that suggestion with ideas, but not go forward with it until the committee agrees. with it.
Correct, which then we have to wait every 2 weeks for them to
It would
actually
probably
make
take
a
2
full
weeks between
decision.
the time the thought came, you got a price.
But-
I don't think we'd say that much time if the committee was.
So the only thing that I would say against that is, as far as fundraising goes, if they have to make a decision in 2 days, she can post it, agenda, public meeting it, get the fundraising committee together, do it, and she has the availability to spend that $500 if need be. Where she would have to wait 2 weeks to come and sit in front of all of us to make that vote for her to spend any money. So it's
She couldn't do that with a working group.
correct.
You already said you can spend $500 on this. She would be able.
But what if something comes up in between that 2 weeks?
Something you have not authorized for yet,
Correct.
and you would call a special meeting for the whole committee.
Wouldn't that be,
The whole committee is available to hop on a
Yep.
Zoom and hear what she has to ask, make that decision, then you're good.
so do we find that would be harder or easier than allowing a 4-person fundraising committee to do that under themselves?
I think you have to pick one or two paths, right?
Correct, that's what I'm asking the
If you
committee.
go work group, then the decisions are of the entire body,
Mhm.
and you could call it an emergency meeting.
Yep.
Within 48 hours, blah, blah, blah.
Correct,
To do exactly that if necessary, and, otherwise you're every 2 weeks. If you had a subcommittee, then they would have to follow the posting of a meeting and what.
Correct.
they vote to spend that, way. So.
correct.
It's poison which way you want to go. right?
So
I would ask,
Can be made to work.
so,
we need to have a subcommittee to give them authorization for the $500.
so what would happen is there'd be a subcommittee fundraising, so we have 11 working groups that we have. The question is for the key ones, school committee, well, the committee that deals with the school. Fundraising, and I think there was another big one in there. Is there a select few? I think that could be that could be something that could have a working group. That's my opinion.
We've got time.
Yeah, so I think, and maybe as we get closer, we can always form one.
So spend money on for fundraising, but you would have to do it.
Marketing material. Mailers, posters, stamps. So there is money that they'd have to spend that I don't think we'd want to have a special meeting and go.
And,
Yeah.
and could we authorize them a certain amount of money for that and then replenish it as they spend it?
They can come to us and ask us for whatever they need, as long as the committee has it, so. Anyone want to make the motion? You want me, I'll just make the motion. Can I make
So
the,
well,
Dan,
I
go
want to make sure I understand what motion we're gonna make, so it's to rename all of the committees, what is currently subcommittees into work groups,
with the exception of,
with the exception of the fundraising committee, the, what is it, school committee?
School engagement.
school engagement committee
Is there a third one?
was.
We thought there was a third one. We didn't.
Yeah,
include
no,
that.
so just two, I think those, yeah,
Those two.
and then as we go, if we feel like we need to change it up, we can always.
Those two will be subcommittees.
Yes.
Subcommittees.
So therefore, they're bound by the.
Laws
No.
of open meeting, yeah.
Oh, no, last.
Post meetings and
How
whatever.
how long ahead of posting it?
48 hours?
48 hours.
Work.
Yeah.
Work hours.
Work hours. So 48 work hours.
But 48 on work days, so Saturdays and Sundays.
Just 48 clock hours on weekdays.
Yes.
So if you wanted a Friday one, you do it Wednesday by 7 at night, and then you're Friday to 7. But you can do Zoom meetings, so everyone can meet for 10 minutes by Zoom. That just has to be publicly posted, so you have to send the town clerk the agenda, just like we do for this. Yeah. Roll call, pledge of allegiance, the whole bit, so I'm not opposed to it, I think it's beneficial to the committee. I just don't want us to end up getting hemmed up with more people meeting that should, and we're calling them work groups, so I think the way that you.
So I'll just make a motion that all subcommittees be renamed to work groups.
Yep.
Except for the fundraising committee and the,
School engagement.
School engagement. That's the motion.
For a second,
Second.
okay, oh, discussion,
Can you just clarify who's on the school committee and what the charter is for that?
We don't have a charter or for that, but it's Diana.
Okay.
And who else we on that committee, because I don't have it written down on here.
it was Diana, Taryn, did you, no,
Yes, you were there, and
Yep.
was it you?
no, I,
Carrie,
it
the
was
point of
John.
it was just to
I
have a
mean, I'll-
small group that you work with to
Right.
bring ideas back and forth.
as opposed
so
to
that-
this. Okay.
We have all these
I think it
ideas, you
was.
have to tell us if they're
I thought it
logistically
was
feasible.
I think it's me. So we're good with those two, but we should add a fourth. We need to add, oh, Kelly,
Kelly, you on that committee?
Yeah,
too?
I just gotta pause for a minute. So I have to step out. So if there's a vote, I won't be able to take it because I'm gonna be stepping out for a moment.
Are you on the
All right,
school
wait.
engagement committee?
Am I on the what?
The school committee with me?
The
Yes,
school engagement one?
Yes?
yes.
so there's four of us. Okay,
Who's the
All right.
fourth one?
all right, so we get a second, made the motion, so anyone second?
Second.
Roll call vote. Darren,
Yes.
Kelly,
You just
oh,
stepped
she
out.
kind of said it.
John.
John. Burrows. Burrows,
Oh, Kelly.
Having a secret meeting.
okay, we'll go back, Diana,
Yes.
Gil. Oh, there, okay, yeah, second, yep, roll call vote, John,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah.
okay,
Trepidation, yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Al,
Yes.
Michelle, John,
Yes.
chair is aye.
Okay, so who's on the school?
Engagement?
You,
Yeah.
Kelly,
Me,
Chris, and Jesse.
Jesse,
And who's on the fundraising?
We have to vote those people.
Fundraising
I think
committee,
we already did.
no,
We already did.
Kelly, Diane,
but the,
and Chris.
hold on, the question, should we have four voting members? Jesse's not a voting member,
Do we have to have 4 voting members?
two makes a quorum,
One, two,
if I talk to Diana, it's a quorum.
three.
About 4?
Fundraising
Well, I-
is you, Kelly, and Chris,
So
not
just
Gil.
Go ahead, Al.
Not Gil?
I don't think so.
The odds.
Doesn't you just vote?
If you have
Jason.
3, you'll
Yeah,
always
you
have
on the
majority. If
fundraising
you have
committee?
4, you might.
Oh, okay, my.
But if I talk to Diana,
Kelly, thank you.
fundraising has 4 voting members.
Yep.
The school committee has,
I thought the school committee had 3.
yeah, so the question is, do we need a fourth vote?
4, you want 3 becomes the quorum, so 2 people.
Oh, okay, all right, fine, okay, all right, just,
And you can have other people
No,
come
it's
to the.
it's not a quorum, right? 2 out of 4 is 50%. Any motion you would make would automatically fail. Right?
okay, but if you have 2 out of 3 people meeting outside,
But
that's a
2 out
quorum
of,
for
but 2 out of
three.
4 is not.
Right.
So you can talk to her, you can't deliberate
Yeah,
about
right,
that.
right.
sub-
okay,
So.
okay, all right, just wanna avoid any,
keeps
I'm
fine.
gonna
Any
say
complications?
separate.
Oh. no, yeah, I mean, we can't like talk,
Don't you dare.
wow, okay, all right,
I'll be calm.
so we're all set with that, we're gonna move on,
Um,
okay. So discussion with cleanup, green up,
Mary's here.
Mary up.
Mary is there,
There she is.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
We can't see you,
Great.
but we can hear you.
Well, that's actually the plan. So that means it's working. Because I'm on my laptop. So basically, I just thought it would be nice to meet with the group and just let you know that Cleanup Green Up Day is April 26th between 10 and noon. And this year, in honor of Bill Ricketts' 250th, we've added some historic sites to our sign-up list. We've added, we actually put Bill Rickett 250 in front of each one of them. The first one is Bartlett's Landing on Morgan Road. The second is the Amos Wyman Homestead on Middlesex Turnpike and next to the Homestead Suites. The third is Colrush Park. The fourth is the Talbot Mill Dam area. And what we're doing, anybody can sign up to clean up at those areas if they want to. And if more than one person signs up, we'll connect them together so they can work together if they want to. But the question I have for you guys, and I wanted to just propose, we have the Bay State Baptist Church usually has about 20 people that come and do a cleanup. And if you guys wanted to coordinate having some of them come to one site and some of them come to another of the historic sites, if that would be of interest to you. Perhaps I was thinking somebody on the committee or somebody that the committee knows could be a cleanup captain for 1 or 2 of the sites that they think needs the most care. And I could connect the Bay State Baptist Church with you and they could work directly with you guys. We would get supplies to you, but I'm not going to be able to be at each one of these sites coordinating things. So whenever we have a large church group like that, I like to have a point of contact if we had. So just wanted to float that idea by you and also to ask you guys to please share our sign up form on your social channels, tell your friends, because we are trying to make history and raising some awareness about history as part of Cleanup Green Up this year in honor of our Bill Rickey 250th. So that's what I had to say. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Michelle, you said didn't you say at one of the meetings that there's a group that's going to one of the cemeteries or something?
There's a group that's going between the aqueduct that I know of. We also had asked if the Girl Scouts wanted to come and do a cleanup and work with the 250th committee to do some historic sites. I haven't reached out to them because we didn't have a plan. We didn't know what it was.
Okay.
But Mary, it sounds like Mary is saying she has a group of people and she just needs somebody to coordinate them.
That's for a couple sites, that's
You
not for
would-
everything.
Right, you wouldn't have to go out and and do the actual cleaning, these people come and clean. Is that right, Mary? I don't wanna.
Oh, what the way it works is actually if you have somebody there, and actually, the best way to have it work is to have somebody scout out the site prior to the day, know where the problem areas are, and then meet them the day of, with supplies. That person, you might even want to coordinate getting the supplies yourself from the fire station or working with me, Mike, or Lance on getting the supplies. And I think it's good to have someone on site because otherwise people sort of show up and they look to see where they should go. Cause like, you have to sort of point things out. They might be going to areas that they're not familiar with. They might not know where the trash places are, the trashy areas are. So anytime we have a group, I like to have a point of contact. I don't know what, if everyone else is already committed to doing something else on that day, but if somebody wanted to take on first of all, somebody wanted to identify which of these historic areas really needs the most, the most picking up of trash, then we could actually connect the Bay State Baptist folks with you, but they will need to know, they come in like a storm and clean like, they clean like, what was that guy that dressed like a genie, like Mr. Clean, they're awesome. So we need someone there to help coordinate them. And if
Mary,
we-
what's the date, please? I apologize if I missed it.
26.
It's April
Thank you.
26th, and if I can't get someone to coordinate them there, I'll probably just put them at Vietnam Veterans Park because that's a huge area and there's a lot of parking spaces. So they've been asking me, where are we going? So if you guys could sort of give me a decision pretty quickly, if this is something that you think that you can coordinate. Otherwise, we'll hope that other people sign up, and if Michelle's able to get Girl Scouts, we can send Girl Scouts to those areas too.
Okay.
I apologize, I am not gonna be able to help on that day. I'm doing a food packing thing with the Rotary down in Bedford.
Okay.
And I apologize for being late, by the way, I was running a food pantry distribution.
Let it happen again.
Hmm?
Don't let it happen again.
I will do my best, but if you schedule on the same Wednesday as a food pantry distribution.
Do it earlier. We could go to the Revolutionary War Monument and clean it up and decorate it, flowers, whatever.
Prior to April 26th.
Getting it ready for Patriots Day.
Okay.
Yeah.
We also have the Asa Pollard House, where the Minutemen did just get permission to hold a ceremony there,
Okay.
in June.
Okay.
I think it's 14th.
Okay.
So that would be another site that we could go and clean up and have presentable, ready for the celebration that's going on. Do those two things as the 250th committee. And then, of course, the Minutemen are gonna be looking at the 250th committee to be with us during those events.
Yeah.
So,
So you want to do the cleanup before April 26th?
well, I would say that at least the Revolutionary War one on the Common.
Okay.
We'd want to do, as soon as possible, because we're gonna be there on the 13th, doing our salute, the pole tapping and all that. The 19th is Patriots Day. So there'll be some activities going on, and that's also Easter weekend, so it's also. But that would be a good one to get knocked out, just, some clean up, some flowers, that type of stuff to go in and make it look presentable for You know, when hopefully we have a bunch of people there.
So,
So that's separate from what we're talking about with cleanup, green up.
No,
Yeah.
that's your cleanup, event.
You're saying instead of.
you're doing a separate day.
Just doing it a different day.
We're doing a separate event.
Yeah,
The Minutemen at those sites.
He's asking us
But-
to go help.
but clean it up a separate day prior as part of cleanup green up,
Correct,
like an early start,
that's correct.
okay?
If you
do that, we can
actually get some photos and we can do some, we can do a little PR and encourage other people to do the same. So I mean,
Okay.
that will actually help enhance the brand of Billerica 250th and raise momentum for Cleanup Green Up Day. So that would be a win-win.
So, I mean, it is a solid one we could do on cleanup green up day.
It's on the list.
It's, yeah,
You mentioned mulch and flowers.
Yep.
Yeah, the
So-
Cleanup Green Up doesn't provide bags
yeah,
and for
we'd have
picking
to
up
donate.
trash.
we
so
could
you-
probably get it donated either way,
It's
somewhere,
not
some
a lot,
landscape, no.
Right, I mean, it's not a big.
Yeah.
Chair, can I ask Mary a question?
Go ahead, yeah.
Mary, if we were to do the comment earlier, do you have a point of contact where we could get the yellow bags just like a cleanup green up day event? But
Yeah,
earlier-
you can contact me or you could contact Mike Parker.
Okay,
Either one of us, I've got them. Also, the recreation department should have some too. But just let me know. I'd be happy to, reach out through email or call me. Be happy to get some to you.
okay, and then someone willing to come and pick them up?
We would ask you to save them or we can get the DPW to do it.
Perfect.
Is it,
Thanks.
are there trash? Is there trash on the common?
It would be debris from this, dead flowers and.
Okay, that we
whatever is
could,
there.
that doesn't go in a yellow bag because the
mean,
yellow
Yeah,
bags
I
are
got
not
dump trucks, I
biodegradable.
can.
Yeah, they're not biodegradable.
He's got a dumpster, yeah.
Do it on a weekend and bring it home and my trash day is Monday.
Yeah, I got time, we can make that, we'll figure that out.
Please don't throw away.
But I think having the yellow bags for PR,
Yeah,
I like the PR.
PR is
Okay.
good, but
Because it look-
please
Well, it
don't
helps.
throw away yard waste in yellow bags.
It's
Please,
good for us and it's good for the. it's-
Only trash in yellow bags.
yeah,
So I've got, because of all the leaf bagging I do, I've got a stash of the paper bags. Yard waste.
That have to be yellow.
No. So.
You have to spray paint them all yellow with biodegradable paint.
To the yellow and the yard waste can go into the
so I have a suggestion.
compost.
The Patriot, the event you're having is on April 13th,
That is correct.
okay? That is a Thursday.
No, it's
April
not.
13th,
No.
it's a Sunday.
Oh, no, I'm like, nope, never mind. April 13th, Sunday. We have a meeting on the 8th. What if we did a working meeting? Can we do that?
A working meeting?
Yeah. Like we have somebody put Zoom, and we have Zoom and people can see us or be live and we're just kind of, is
So
it
we flag it as a site visit,
Yeah.
location.
site visit meeting? Yeah.
We can call Isaac.
Eighth?
On the 8th, that would be, because that's our meeting of,
So that's Tuesday, the eighth.
that'd be Tuesday, yeah, so our next meeting after this is Tuesday, the 8th. We can move it, obviously weather permitting, to the 8th, and we just do it in the common. I feel like, oh, that would work. We already have it pre-planned. It works for everybody here.
And clean what he's talking
And
about.
clean what you're talking about, and it'd be all set for the 13th.
No.
yeah,
No,
Can
No.
we start a little earlier?
yes. Well, it's light.
well, yeah, we can start earlier.
April 8th.
Yeah, you could say, be it 4 or 4:30 or 5 or whatever.
Yeah, we'll just keep next meetings. Yeah, and we'll,
On the 8th is during the week, right?
correct.
It's a Tuesday.
So that can't be 4:30.
No.
A lot of us.
So we have sunlight till 6:30.
Yeah.
We could do a
Okay.
6 o'clock meeting and half an hour out there. I think that's doable with what, 12 people. Come back in and we'll keep next meeting short.
We're gonna change. Somebody's gonna have to make a motion, but
Yep.
change the April 8th meeting.
Okay, I make a motion to change April eighth meeting. We'll meet at the town common at 6 P.M. And then we will come back to town hall to finish our
To
meeting.
finish our meeting.
It will be televised on Zoom,
You will, yes, so our meeting, I'll have to, when I do the agenda, we'll say 6 o'clock
6
via
o'clock.
Zoom.
Zoom.
And then I'll figure out, we'll figure out how to word it. Commences at 7 back in meeting room.
So you will be sending.
6 o'clock at the center.
Yes.
and come back.
But if anybody can't, obviously, if anybody can't make,
If you can't make it, then you just meet us back
you
here.
just meet us back here at
If
7.
you're gonna zoom it, we need to have the
So the
technology.
meeting is 7 o'clock and then you have a second.
I get tablets.
Zoom that.
Two different agendas?
We don't have to Zoom the cleanup?
Oh,
Just take
two
pictures.
different
Just assume
agendas.
you probably can.
Since you're coming back here and holding a meeting,
But could I ask a question? The
Don't
two
deliver-
fifty, it has a Facebook page, right?
Huh?
So he could just go live on Facebook and say, hey, we are cleaning up and just put it,
that's what I'm saying.
put it live on our Facebook
We
page.
don't
We're calling nice. He can come and take pictures.
Yeah.
Videos, and we can use it any way we want to, but we don't actually have to have the meeting when we're out.
Okay, but we'll call the meeting.
While we're out
No.
there, you get here,
It's just a site visit while you're out there. There was a tour of the lock building with select board, school committee, maybe, I don't think.
FinCom.
Okay,
It's not broadcast on Zoom or anything like that. It was advertised as a site visit or
it's a site
tour.
visit.
so
It's fine.
would we have to meet in here, call the meeting, go outside? No.
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 Okay.
No, just
Site
seven-
visit 6 o'clock
Site
in the
visit 6
center,
o'clock in the center.
meeting 7 o'clock here,
Pre-event.
at which point we
Correct.
go live on
Which is your motion.
social media.
As part of cleanup, as the 250th committee, as the
Okay.
site, and then we're gonna come here, let's just say 7,
So it's two
And-
agendas.
and open up the.
Your regular agenda plus a 6 p.m. site visit beforehand.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, that's easy.
Yeah.
You're not discussing official business.
No, we're just cleaning. Yeah. So 6 o'clock site visit,
Right, we just.
cleaning up.
Yeah.
Yep. the
When were we
revolutionary-
supposed to meet that week?
We're supposed,
Tiffany.
yeah, we're already meeting on Tuesday the 8th.
Okay.
So it's the same day, just an hour earlier.
So the motion is that on April 8th, the committee will meet for a site visit at 6 o'clock on the common
Mhm.
for a cleanup of the Revolutionary War Memorial. And as part of cleanup, and then convene in
Here,
here at 7 o'clock.
say 7 there.
Yeah,
That's our motion.
Yep.
Okay,
Second.
All right, roll call.
John jumped.
we're waiting for.
I left it for you this time.
All right, roll call.
Call that meeting there, Chris.
Huh?
Go ahead, take control again.
Yes,
Roll call vote. Darren,
yes.
Kelly,
Not back yet.
John, Burrows,
You will learn.
Wake up.
You will learn.
Diana,
Yes.
Gil,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Al,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
John,
Why, yes.
chair is aye. Okay,
All right, thank you very much. I think you're
no,
done with
thank
me,
you,
right?
Mary.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Uh,
Bye.
And I know Mary already left, but we didn't really talk about sending anybody out to do that. That's gonna be on our own.
clean up.
Take on that group that she's talking about.
Yep. So why
So
don't
she's
we,
just looking for a volunteer. Anybody want to volunteer to take on the group and on cleanup day on the 26th?
so we have,
Basically, you're a site manager.
we have 2 meetings
Okay.
before the 26th. So I'm gonna put on the agenda for next meeting, who we can get, how many volunteers. By that point, we'll have the shirts and we'll have all that stuff.
I was gonna ask when the shirts will be ready.
I wanted them grabbing sizes
Could
now.
we get a tentative if anybody's even interested? Cause I feel like Mary's being asked by the church,
Yes.
where are we going? What are we doing? And she needs to know, like, if any of us are, like, I can't, if any of us are even willing to possibly do it, you know, if there's 4 of us that say, well, maybe I can do it, I think that'd be enough that we could say to Mary, we can come up with someone who could be your site manager, even if we don't decide who for another week or 2.
Well, we can just go on.
So April 26th,
Enter anybody who wants to do that, and then she can assign.
Right.
That she has.
April
But just so we
26th.
love her now,
Yeah.
not wait another.
But once,
whatever, just
and
do it.
once we wanna do that, but let somebody know so that we can get pictures. Sure.
I'm just double checking.
Tell us.
'Cause I can't, if I'm just checking to see if I can commit to the
We're gonna
26th.
do the Asian.
What?
I'll do the site.
Okay.
For the, cleanup, I mean, it needs to get done.
I agree.
So, especially if we're gonna make a ceremony out of it later in the summer, we want it to look good from the 250th side of things, so. I have no problem saying, yeah, you know, Mary needs a point person, and I'll pay a point person.
And it sounds like if you have the church help you, that there are a bunch of
Just 30.
speedy, hard workers even if you only have 15 of them.
Again, it's not a huge site, it's, again, clean out, pull up the dead flowers, put in some new flowers, make a bag of heart mulch to pretty it up and, rake around it and stuff, and that's about it,
So I can be a site manager for a different site if you're already gonna be site manager for that one. I think we can do more than one.
I would like to do one too, but I have to look to see what everybody else has signed up for.
So I can commit and let's figure out a secondary place.
And maybe if we have a couple of small.
Well, Mary just answered a bunch of them.
It has, yeah, so we'll reach out, figure it out and then
Just reach out to Mary, you'll be
Yeah.
a site manager and Dan will
Dan
be
the
a
site manager.
And then we can pick a different one.
You're in contact with Mary, right?
I can-
I
So,
can, I
yeah,
can
so-
text her.
Yeah, so whoever wants to,
Just ask her.
just once you figure out if you want it, if you can do it, then.
Yeah.
Then just tell her where, yeah. But
I've been a
I'm,
site manager before. but-
Yeah.
I'll touch base with the owner, I mean, I already talked to him earlier this week.
Hi,
I'm asking.
What's up?
come on, there's a chair right
You're just in time. Just, yeah, this is the next one, so.
He knew what he was getting.
Yeah, right? All right, so we got two, potentially three site managers for different sites. I think that's a good start for them anyway. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Michelle, do you want to handle that? You want me to? Talking to Mary, telling Mary?
I'll just tell her that she's gonna get 2, possibly 3, and that they'll reach out to her directly.
Yeah.
Because
okay,
then you can tell her,
Yep.
I'll do it, can I do a Sapala? You can be like, I'll do it, can I do it, whatever.
All right.
Tell her Dan's taking.
Yeah, I'll have my own little child army, so. Yeah. Well, four of them. Yep.
We can help. We'll cut rakes down to their height.
Give them full size.
Right?
Use them.
All right, so we are voted, we're all approved. All right. All right, so next line item, Thomas put in discussion and vote on a wreath laying ceremony in the early morning of April 19th, 2025 to honor the men who marched to Concord. You want to discuss it? It's pretty
Yeah.
straightforward.
So the group who is portraying the Billerica companies for Battle Road Weekend, we have to be in Concord by 8:30 in the morning. So originally we were gonna walk from Billerica Center all the way to Concord, and that
Okay.
got nixed. But the people who are part of this impression who are coming from Wisconsin and Illinois, and one guy is actually coming from England. They want to do something in the morning. So they would at least like to do a wreath laying ceremony at the monument. That's right at the center.
So
Sorry,
we're doing all that the weekend before.
are you?
Yeah.
I thought you were doing the
On the 19th, we are committed to Concord, right?
right.
So we're doing the 13th
So
on the comment
oh, I didn't know
to, recognize those who died and those who went.
that. Okay.
And that's why we were just, before you came in, we were just talking about a visit to clean up that area,
Oh, okay.
beforehand, so that it's ready for that event on the 13th. So no, I'm just saying it. And
Oh, I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know
the
that.
group would be more than welcome to be there with us, of course, the more the merrier.
Yeah. Well, if you're already doing something, then
Well, they want.
Well, so, yeah, I don't see a problem with them laying a separate wreath on the
No,
19th.
no, I mean, if they
Were
wanna
you
do
doing
something
a
on the
wreath laying
19th, I'm
on-
just saying the Minutemen would be
right.
there. So,
Yeah. So it was something to do on, because it's part of the 250th. But
Yeah.
are you doing a wreath laying?
Yeah.
Oh, then
On the 13th.
on the 13th. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do the same exact. I don't want to step on
Well,
their toes.
So,
I told you, put a second wreath down, you put a second
What,
wreath
Yeah.
down.
when are you meeting?
So we want to do it at 5 a.m. because that's when they left Billerica.
Do you want us to opt for 5 a.m.?
Yep.
They have.
well,
Diana
so
could do that.
we can,
She's a crazy person.
well,
on sleep.
I think.
But I want to open it up to the town because then so we have a person who is also an ordained minister who would read because they did do a prayer before they marched off, and we wanted to do that recreation, and then also there's been this whole talk about having the bells ringing, so it would be something to invite the town, and this
Yeah.
would sound ridiculous if not the fact that over in Lexington there's going to be thousands of people on Lexington Green earlier in the day.
Yeah, so I don't see anything wrong with that.
Are you marching from the Thunder?
We can't.
No, they can't.
So
We
you got
can't.
next.
So what we would be doing is we would be driving and parking the library or something, doing this ceremony, and then probably just going back to,
How many people will you have?
well, so it depends. So there's a lot of people staying at Richie's at the tavern.
Yeah.
So probably like, I don't know, whoever's willing to get like 14, 15. So it's not a big number. The total number of people who are doing this impression is 56. But a lot of them are day tripping. So it's really just the people who are staying with me for the weekend.
So I don't think, I think it'd be more than feasible to get a camera out there, we post it on as a true reenactment at the time.
And,
Later,
and what I was thinking is like we show them marching off and we like go as far
Cut it,
as like the
yeah.
Sexton House or something.
Until
and
you're
then
out of
just
sight.
Call it.
I hate to.
Promo
not
video.
Religion at all, but if that was huge at the time.
Yeah.
Where they would get together and
Right.
the churches were very influential.
Of course, yeah.
So getting together like that,
Right.
doing a prayer thing and then marching off is a.
Yeah, I would love to get
Um,
the bells to ring, but I wouldn't invite like the town, like let the town know that.
If you
we're
want
doing
us to
this.
put us on the town, on our page.
Yeah, possible.
So we'll publicize it.
And we don't have to do a wreath if that's, I mean, I'm okay with not doing the wreath part, especially if. the
Did they
look
lay
is-
a wreath? What
No,
did
no,
they-
no, not historically.
Yeah, so then I would
Yeah,
just
that,
keep-
that was more just to honor, but if that's already what the.
So I
Minutemen
think,
are doing.
I personally think doing it as historically accurate as
Yeah.
possible for like a promo video
Yeah.
from April 19th. That is something we can continually show.
Sure,
And I'm sure BATV can, play some nice music to it,
yeah,
marching off as the sun's coming up,
right,
right?
yeah.
And they can probably add some little effects. I think that's a huge promo video. I think that'd be great for this committee. So I'm. all
And you
for it.
want the churches that are around the center to ring the bells if possible.
If possible, yeah. Because what we could do is they ring the bells and that would, and then the Minutemen or our group then shows up on the center, which would be.
So it's gonna say, you planning on ringing the bells at 5 AM.
Yeah, nobody will mind.
Yeah, no,
But then
I,
with their church.
I mean, it doesn't have to be all the churches, it could be whatever that's one.
the Unitarian church.
Yeah, and it's like, you're talking like 5 minutes.
Yeah, so.
So ring the bells at 5 o'clock in the morning, they're gonna meet.
Yeah.
And then you march off,
Right,
meet for prayer and then march off.
And my job
This time.
is I'm the office manager of the Congregational Church. I will give you my email address and you can email me and I will forward it to my boss, the minister, who is also the minister, the head of both the Faith Association, which includes Saint Teresa's, First Parish and First Congregational, which are all right there.
Then they'll talk to that higher.
I'll give you.
God.
Okay. No, I want yours. I want you to email. You email me too. Eleanor.
So there's gonna be.
So that way, because
Yes,
it's not
you
my
just pass
decision
out
to make,
those.
but she's the head of the interfaith.
Can you just pass out all postings?
I passed up
So
both yet
she-
because this is so we can all figure out ideas and what we want. And we can write down the remote idea, but Kat came up with a better idea, so we're gonna do that
This is
after.
at 5 a.m.
exercise.
Correct. I'm willing to go to 5:30, but I also have to like present this back to
Yep.
my, because I wanted to present it here first before bringing it back to my members. to make sure it is- But I'm sure that people would be.
Who was, yes, you wanna make a motion?
I'll make a motion that the 250th committee organizes a gathering.
Yeah.
What's the name of your company?
So you could just, so the impression we're doing is Edward Farmer's company of Billerica.
Of Edward Farmer's Company on the town center.
Yeah.
On that date.
Yeah.
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
In
19th,
response to
right?
all the bells ringing.
Doesn't have to be all bells in, I mean, I am now worried about the townies, but
I wanna.
specifically the one, the churches in the center.
And we can just call it a gathering.
And like the whole thing could probably take a half. And then everybody else can go back. to bed.
We'll have to get in contact with BATV.
I call it Isaac.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's probably gonna need lights at 5.
Uh-oh, we haven't.
Is that FC?
Unless we do like
Yeah,
a
it is.
Blair Witch type
First
style.
Congregational Church. FCC.
Okay.
Cool.
That'll-
There you go.
You're gonna need BATV cameras because none of our cameras are gonna go.
No.
It would be great to live stream it on the Facebook page.
I don't know if they'd have that capability, but we can do.
Think of it. Sorry.
No, that's fine. If I record it and I send
Yeah,
it
but
to
everyone, someone else has access to the page, right? Yeah, so we can,
or the Billerica Townie page.
Yeah, we can.
but I think Isaac can probably figure out how to live stream that anyways.
If it's Facebook, you just
Go
just
live.
go under that name.
Yeah, but the camera of your phone might not pick up those wee
yeah.
hours in the morning when
Yeah.
the bell's ringing. Yeah. Okay, so,
Logistical question.
so
Yeah.
if the bells ring at 5 o'clock to muster you, are you planning on immediately just kind of like scatter drilling onto the common? Or is it like 5-10 minutes till you guys actually?
So my idea is like, so let's say 5 o'clock the program starts with bells ringing, and then like, I would prefer that we scattered onto the green and formed up, and then did the prayer, and then we marched off, and I probably.
Immediate after.
Yeah. The whole thing should take no more than a half hour.
You could be out.
They figured they gotta get.
Oh, before the neighbors lynch you and not ring bells.
And again, I don't feel this is ridiculous, because every year the town of Lexington comes out 7 people deep, and their program goes 15 minutes.
Yeah, so I think,
I love this one. With a.
Okay, so the motion, anyone second?
Nine.
Aye, roll call. Roll call vote.
that fast. Kelly,
Yep, I'm in.
okay,
Aye.
Bob
I heard
Rose,
that.
Anna, Joe Thomas,
Yes.
Anna, Gil, Dan,
Yes.
Al,
Yeah.
Joe, John,
Yes.
Chair, aye.
Thank you.
Second topic from Thomas. Discussion and vote on reaching out to Museum of the American Revolution in Philadelphia and asking them about possibly having a musket owned by an individual from Billerica currently in their possession. Could be loaned and put on display somewhere in town.
So I went out to
Good catch.
the Museum of the American Revolution last year, and I went into their collections, and they let me hold a Fowler, which was carried by a member of the Billerica. I cannot remember the guy's name, but there's a certificate of authenticity that comes with it, which is important. And then I already asked what the possibility was, and they said it's not out of the realm of possibility. They just would need to know where it would be put on display for how long.
They want it back.
They will want it back. Yes.
Dan burnt his family room, fireplace.
But it's documented that it was carried by, I cannot remember the guy's name, but it was carried at Lexington, Concord, Bunker Hill, whatever else battles and campaigns that this individual carried it. But I just think it would be a nice thing to at least ask. if it could-
Doesn't hurt to ask.
I'm sorry. Well, that's what I would. They would charge like I guess a rental fee.
So you're in charge of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to do some more investigation.
Yep. I didn't want to get deep into it until I got permission.
Okay.
We would probably have a cost to send it back and possibly have it sent to us,
Okay, so,
Yeah. 'Cause
pointing out that it's not gonna be.
because it's an original. Yeah, there's
I'm
some
sure there's-
care and love that goes.
I'm
into
sure.
all right, so you'll take care of
Yep.
figuring out costs and all that stuff?
Yes.
It's gotta be.
Right. Well, I have to ask them.
Well, I think that would fall under the town anyways.
I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure.
They might need to transfer it to another museum too.
So the Historic Society?
Well, they're not a museum, but they have a museum on site that they did. Not official museum, but.
And the only reason, so one of the reasons why I was interested in doing is because for the 350th, there were some historical items that were sent from England that the library put on display
Mhm.
during the 350th
Oh.
celebration. So
Maybe a lot.
Yeah, the library might be the best idea,
yeah, that I was
because for a
gonna,
couple of things. Everyone goes to the library.
Right.
Most, and it's secure.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And it's got pretty good hours, like
Yeah.
it's open, into the evening.
So it sounds like we're all in favor of having Thomas do that. Do we need a motion for that?
Motion to have Thomas investigate lending a revolutionary period market to.
Okay, to find cost for us to vote on later date. Okay, so we have, okay. Roll call vote, Taryn,
Yes,
Kelly,
Yes.
John, Burrows,
Yes.
Thomas.
Yeah.
Diana,
Yes.
Gil, Dan,
Yes.
Al,
Yeah.
Michelle. John,
Yes.
chairs aye.
great, see you later.
Whoa,
Keep
whoa,
going.
whoa, we're gonna comb right through these, don't you worry, don't you worry. Alright, so this one here, I'm not sure if, we need to do, because it's now fundraising, we have now fundraising
Yeah, I
subcommittee.
don't think you need to do it now.
Discussion and vote on craft fair event fundraiser.
So is the subcommittee ready to come and present it yet?
Are you ready to present the craft fair fundraiser?
Well, I haven't talked to the committee yet, obviously, but
But I'm sure you have information.
yeah, the information is simple. We have it here. I already had permission to have it here at the town hall. So it would be downstairs in the auditorium. You know, you'd sell the, like a regular craft fair, you sell the tables, $25.
You can go higher, but
Yeah, and have a raffle and people come in and buy crafts. They pay us. At the end of the day.
so you make money by renting out the table space. And then what's often done is, say we're all crafters and we're all at this thing. Each of us is expected to donate an item of a set value to a raffle table. And then people who come to the fair can not only buy stuff, but they can also buy raffle tickets and win an item. And then that money goes to the committee as well.
So we're not shaking them down for 10% of the sales.
No, we're not.
No taking down. No, it's like 20, it's like, usually it's $25.
Yeah, okay.
And you can put a lot of tables downstairs.
Do you need any initial funds?
Well, no,
No, the people who are renting the tables, okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, is there any
Yeah, we're
initial
gonna-
like marketing material you need to cover for?
no, because
Because
usually
we
they
haven't
just
given
do
the
it on
fundraising committee any money
Facebook.
yet.
They
When
don't,
are you thinking of doing it?
I was hoping to do it I wanted to do it in March, but April,
Okay.
because you want to do it before the other people.
This March, in April?
Next month, April.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, as long
I've got
as,
a lot of time, but.
When's the health fair and
The
April 12th.
April 12th, yeah.
so what date do you have permission from the town hall?
I didn't get back to them.
Oh, okay. So at our next meeting, just wanna give us the date that you wanna
Yeah,
have
the
it?
8th, I'll give you a date.
And if you need any money at that point, because I'm on your fundraising committee with you, we can figure out how much starter funds. we
Yeah,
may
there
need.
shouldn't be any funds.
No flyers, no,
No, because everybody does it on
Social
Facebook,
media.
okay,
social media.
okay.
So we wouldn't be putting up any money.
No signs, no posters.
How much will you charge us for 12 color flyers?
Let's say you should have posters.
Yeah, like-
Put them in market
We
basket.
need
Yeah,
or banners.
So,
Not
Karen
banners.
has a printer and she can print color flyers for us. The market baskets, the COA, the library,
Mhm.
town hall.
No cost, right?
You got it in market basket, don't worry.
Okay,
you got in.
Where you get the biggest cuts?
So-
okay.
And then
No, my son
Facebook
works there.
and our website, and then we can get Robert to share it on the town. website.
Perfect. And then all
I would
the,
be looking at May though. I think all of the April
Yeah.
weekends in town hall are already.
Are they?
So
I
if
didn't-
you said the.
It would be on it would be on a
12th.
weekend. Not during.
I'm
the
not sure, is the health fair here?
Is it the Elks?
Health fair's at the Elks.
so, but we'll know come April 8th on what day you can do.
Right.
Okay,
The
It
other
would be
thing,
here on the weekend, on a Saturday.
So the 20th is the big weekend.
Sounds good.
Patriots Day weekend. 26th is between the Arbor Day and cleanup and then.
John Burroughs
the
must have
Memorial
disconnected,
Vigil for
reconnected.
Sergeant. There's too much already going on the weekend of the 26th, so you'd be looking at May.
So probably May 3rd.
The other thing to consider is when you pick a date or when you when you get permission, see if you can get it on the signboard in the center.
Well, that, yeah, we still gotta talk.
but then we can advertise it beforehand.
Yep.
To get the people who come together.
Yeah.
Put it on Facebook.
Yep.
So let me just talk to the town hall and then I can get back to it.
All right, so, should we even take a vote on letting her run with it?
I take a motion that we investigate having that Diana investigates having a craft fair in town hall
In May.
in May,
In May.
May.
for the next meeting.
Fine.
Second,
All right, roll call vote. Taryn,
yep.
Kelly,
LA.
John
Aye.
Barrows,
Aye.
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Diana,
Yes.
Dan, Al, Michelle,
Yes.
John.
Most indubitably.
Oh, cheers, Zach.
By the way, Mary
You
Lisa,
just
thank
ate
you
up
very
3
much to
seconds of my
anyone
life.
who
I'll never get back.
volunteer. Please sign up on her Google form. I sent it to Al, Dan, and Chris.
Yeah.
But if anybody else needs it, just let me know, because I can send it to you as well.
I'm gonna share that on our Facebook page.
I don't have your cell phone number, that's why I got stuck
No.
with it.
Go. Yours is next. Do you want me to move it? No? Okay.
You're talking about
The Lions? No, that was you.
No, that was
You were
me.
Lions.
I put out there for the Lions, because the Lions Club usually does the hot dog and, was it hot dog, potato chips and a soda or something?
Are you doing something for 4th of July?
Not that I'm not a member of the board, and I don't know, but as far as I know, there's. Lines. But I will ask.
Yeah, could you?
Yeah.
Because usually they do something, it's the only thing that happens in Berwick or on 4th of July.
Okay, so we'll just leave that as Gil's gonna go talk and we'll put on next meeting. Is that
Yeah.
cool?
So we could do something with them.
Yeah.
You know,
That's great.
Well, I had to see how it.
Yeah, that's
no, I put that on only because I know the 4th of July, they usually do hot dogs.
They
It's been
said
a while
that.
since my kids were little.
Yeah, no, but I think if you can talk to
She says if your child just turned 22.
them.
Well, check and see.
All right,
Yeah.
and then we'll just talk about next meeting. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool.
Discussion on supporting Minuteman events scheduled through the end of the year. So discussion and vote on, muster April 2nd.
What's a mustard?
That was the Minuteman schedule. I gave you.
Yeah. You asked if we want to.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, but you want us to
A
participate.
muster's a meeting, huh?
Who wants to?
The musters are our meetings.
Oh.
So you can skip the musters. Everything else is the events.
I make a motion to support all. of
You
the
could've told me that
Minuteman
when you
events,
said
not counting the
that.
musters.
Second.
We can support your meetings.
I already did, I already made a motion.
Okay, now
So
you
support the whole list.
I said to support the whole list, not counting the musters.
All right, a second, Tom a second. All right, cool. Roll call vote. Karen,
Yes.
Kelly,
I left it very vague, we're just supporting Kelly.
Yes,
all right,
sorry.
John, Burrows.
Two eyes.
Oh,
I
What?
see him, see him over there?
Two
Oh,
eyes,
yeah,
you guys, 4.
All right, Thomas,
Yes.
Yes.
Dana, Gil, Dan,
Yes.
Al,
Yeah.
Michelle,
Yeah.
John, chair guys. Okay, oh, you need to fix the list. There's 2 dates not on there.
Dates of the same.
June, Asa, Paula, that's the 14th.
Another 14. And I wrote that before I.
May- May question mark,
dedication. of the
dedication at
cemetery.
cemetery.
Yeah, that was to decide what day we're gonna go do a ceremony at the, I think we got time. I mean, if we have a future meeting, I'll announce it, but we haven't decided
Okay,
the day we're gonna go.
okay, so we're fine with the schedule and then,
The schedule that's here, without the mustard.
okay, without the muster, yes, we can X-nay all the musters.
Unless we want to join the Minutemen and start going to meetings.
Hey,
I visited, they have very
You
nice
were-
meetings,
you
they
were-
have snacks,
We're more than all invited.
they have snacks.
So,
snacks, what kind of snacks?
Their daughter, Alan, Michelle's daughter,
Like
makes,
Twinkies? No?
cooked cupcakes
Oh, yeah.
she makes the best.
All right,
and cookies.
Oh, no.
okay. Update from committee members on progress, maybe member specific items. Progress with BATV. That was Michelle or John?
No, Gil was gonna talk to,
Council on Aging.
Yeah.
Not to be-
for their newsletter.
Do you want me to-
Sandra,
That's a separate, we have,
There were 2 things I was going to do. One, I haven't been able to get a hold of Sandra,
okay, so that's no
but
problem.
I've got one that I did a call.
that's all
Want me
right.
to talk about
I see
We'll
Sandra
get to that
Bullock.
one in a second.
Okay.
You talk.
I talked to Sandra.
it? I thought there was someone besides me.
It was, yeah.
Working in her house.
It's like whoever
Yeah,
gets there
and I
first.
saw her like literally an hour ago.
So
I didn't say anything, but I can.
next.
I also talked to.
Next Wednesday, they want some people, they can do next Wednesday.
Yeah, I talked to her.
So whoever wants to go, would be happy to interview.
Sandra has a TV show called Our Town Live.
There we go.
It's semi-live. And it's basically talking about whatever you want to talk about.
So there's 3 people on the agenda for that day.
Like 3 people, so who wants to be there?
That day, they're gonna be interviewing us.
April 2nd.
Health and wellness and high school hockey team.
Yes, Gil.
I haven't been on a number of these. I shared them myself. I think the Nats should be 3 people.
That's what we agreed on.
And I think they talk ahead of time, if that doesn't violate any rules or laws, and decide what they're going to talk about. And it should probably be focused on the 250th, not on how things are going in town.
Oh,
But that's all, yeah, so, no,
So go let They have a time. You can guide Sandra is what I'm saying.
yeah.
If
I
you,
think
if
the
you
first
have,
one's
if you
like-
come in ready.
Say expect.
So she said no talk about anything outside of what we're doing with the 250th.
Right.
No, that makes sense.
So she recommended me and Dan. And you,
Huh?
and you.
Why? I don't know. You ask her.
Not me.
You bring life to the
She already
party.
drags me onto that thing too often.
But you got a historian.
He has to work.
No talks about your sandwich.
What
You're
about
all gonna try my sandwich.
any
That's
chance
not if you-
Cat
Kelly?
could do it? Any chance Cat could do it? If she's available, I think that would be a good candidate.
Cat would be.
Historic District Commission meets at the same time as our town, our town live. I've never been on it.
Gil?
I gotta dress up.
Wouldn't it be better?
Thomas would be great, but we talked about also potentially trying to get a separate show on BATV with Thomas. Did you mention that to her?
Yes, and she said just let her know when. And
So I'll-
we have to coordinate dates.
So I'll call her, because you and I have fairly good contact, and we'll figure that out as far as like a 5-minute.
What about,
Yeah.
sorry,
Got your back.
sorry,
Kelly?
what about the superintendent? So maybe she can help push getting more of the kids involved. Think she'd be able
Well, we're not on there yet.
Okay,
All right.
no, on for our town live.
I don't think Sandra would like that. Maybe a lot busy going on. Maybe in
I
a
think
later
she probably wants more general at this point.
Yes.
Doesn't she wanna have this more than one though? Would this be one thing, one time?
No, yeah, there'd be more than one. That's why we talked about Thomas doing little history blurbs. We talked about, one more thing, I forget what it was.
On any of the major events we're gonna do, it'd be great to go on our town live
Correct.
a couple of weeks before.
Yeah, but those, yeah, to promote them, but this is just a completely separate thing sponsored by the 250th. Thomas really wants to talk about history. So I'll,
I sure do.
you said you did.
No.
Oh,
It's fantastic.
yeah, right, you just
Oh,
said-
no, I, like,
All right,
so, like, this was a conversation in
Uh,
passing last time.
Approved beforehand, so make sure you.
Can you?
We'll have been general topics,
So,
but no talking about anything outside. John,
Okay. It's like
you are
send it
the
out
ultimate
far.
of digressing off topic. All right, so Thomas,
She's doing it perfectly.
I'll talk to Sandra
yeah. She
about,
only does it on Wednesdays, I can't say.
it would really be just with BATV. If she
Oh,
wants to be
okay.
involved, but it would be, Ed's on the board for BATV. So we'll figure it out anyway.
Oh, just. Again, my recommendation is you get together at a time and split up what you're gonna talk about. So that you can control the meeting, and not step on each other's toes.
I think she's gonna ask a question.
Yeah, she's,
She'll have a list of questions for us to
It'll
answer.
evolve very quickly. And you can control it by having long answers on it. First question.
yeah,
Is this person known to give like gotcha questions?
no,
Sandra, no.
Sandra will be very supportive.
So I think-
She will want to know what you
So
want to talk about.
me,
and she will
Dan,
let you
we'll
know.
set up a group chat, kind of comb through it. Dan, cool with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely need a personnel.
COA bulletin is next. So Gil,
Okay, I'll make a quick story. I was going to go to the director resigned. So there was a interim director, Riley, who I talked to. And I said, can we get something on the 250th? She said, yes. I said, are you writing the front page? Because the director usually runs the front page. She said, maybe I can get something in there. Put something together, call press. We had one day, so I'm sorry we didn't have a meeting on it. We had one day. She liked it. I took a lot of it off the webpage. She liked it. Then the director that resigned decided not to resign. So she did a front page, and we got a nice page in the middle called Bill Ricker Select Board has appointed a Bill Ricker 250th Celebration Committee. I'll pass this around. I like I said, I got a lot of it out of the webpage. And Ryan agrees to do it, and we can do one every month if we want to. If you designate someone to do it, I'll give them, Riley, I can put it together, I'll give them Riley's name, phone number, and email. And I think it's nice because these are people who are close to my age.
Then we're here about it.
They're very Billerica, they've been around a long time, they know the town. So you're getting to a good group of people, if you want to pass that way. So I consider,
So my question would be is who do we want to write the blurbs in the COA bulletin? However, we still have yet to really get involved with the school, so Dr. Cleary, is that something that is we can summer relate for the months of June, July, and August? For students to write a specific blurb about a specific historic event that might have happened throughout the year? Is that something that that we could do?
It sure is. The question is it about history or is it about events that this group is doing?
I don't see why we wouldn't be able to have a quick discussion in it about history, but then we also would have a separate thing that one of us could do for what events we're having.
someone would have to talk to Riley if you want to.
Okay.
I got to buy into one.
I would say, but
It's big, so it wouldn't be that.
Seems like it's more advertising.
True.
The group is.
It's more,
Well-
I think, I see it as getting the message out that we are a group, we are doing things, there are events. And here's a little something on what happened in the town.
Okay.
Yeah, just like put a webpage on
Yep.
there.
Okay. So
couldn't it also be like, did you know who Asa Pollard was? Asa Pollard was 4 sentences. The Orchid 250th Committee is celebrating Asa Pollard by doing X, Y, Z.
Well, you see,
So the
that's,
first time is who the heck we are,
Yeah.
and then the future ones are 250th Committee is celebrating April 19th. Well, why?
Fun fact.
Somebody does a
Yeah.
little bit of information about what's the importance of April 19th. Somebody does a little bit, I'm talking like 4 sentences. The kid's not writing an essay.
that came out in time to get the April 30th event.
Okay.
And I think it's style, more or less, is easy to read. Puts a little emphasis on who we are, and what we're doing and events.
This is excellent.
But again, whoever put it in the webpage, I stole your stuff.
Published,
Yes,
that's already published.
oh yeah, I picked it up today when I went by. It went out, the beginning of the week. So people will get it in time to read it for the 30th.
Do we have to subscribe to that?
No, you pick it up.
Pick it up. Okay.
Yeah, it's right at the front desk at the COA,
It's online too.
and also I get one mail, which is on folder.
So do we have somebody that'd be interested in doing the writing?
Yeah.
I'm just looking in that direction. There's more people down that way than there is this way. Tom's gonna say no.
I think I should be involved in it.
So should we rotate it?
I will,
Maybe.
I'll
If you
help.
have- If you have something
Fine.
that you're interested
Yeah.
in putting on there, yes, prepare it and bring
Okay.
it.
Yeah, just bring it next meeting.
And it's monthly,
It's what,
it's monthly.
and there's drop dead dates. And so we should talk about it and find out.
Okay.
Update. If you want, I'll talk to him and pass it on.
So what working group would want to lead this?
Yeah, what book were you on?
Fundraising, no.
This isn't fundraising.
He said he was gonna do it.
help with it.
Help. This would be marketing
I'll do it. It's gotta be a working group though.
to working group. Yep. I said working group.
Is how, once every month this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's,
Is there a specific date at like?
Let's talk to Riley, I should give you the date. Are you volunteering?
To help.
Tommy's
To help.
volunteering.
it's kind of like a one-person job.
I'll do it. For sure.
Yeah, okay. Two of you?
And if you send me an email, and remind me, I'll send you Riley's.
I mean, it's literally.
I think her stuff is on the,
Take
paragraph.
the whole thing with you, it's on the front desk.
Really, we
Is
want
that
people-
how long it's supposed to be?
people
Yes, I think that's all we're getting per space.
to Put on there.
Font
I mean, I can
16,
write it
you'd be
so
good.
that-
But I think it'd be good because you'd be able to put the historical facts in there of what happened that month.
Yeah.
But Riley's contact is right on the front page.
And what's is that the space that we're being allotted for moving forward?
I would say space that size,
Space that's, okay.
and then depends on what they have.
Did you write that one?
I did, but I stole most of it
Actually,
on web
if
page.
you look
But
at-
could you count, could you do a word
These
count of it
chairs.
so that we know?
I don't think that they're going to be a little bit more than that.
It's all catering. What are you going?
Yeah, I'm just saying, so everybody knows what the expectation is.
I would try to put the size of that,
Yeah.
All right,
you know, most of them are.
we're good with that? All right, April 19th, Bell Day. Kelly was handling Bell Day.
I don't have any updates. I do apologize. I just have the prices that I started in the beginning.
So you've already been authorized to spend the money? So if you,
Okay.
if you just wanna get them ordered, what was the amount? It was 150 minutes?
Give me a minute to go through the minutes.
I believe it was $150 to buy the bells.
Oh. Okay, go ahead, I'm just.
Yep. So we'll come back to that one, Kelly.
Okay.
Member staff and public shirts.
What about the treasure hunt book purchase and raffle?
Oh, yep, sorry, treasure hunt book purchase and raffle.
It's $150.
Are they all purchased and,
No, it was that she was gonna come back to report to the committee.
who?
Kelly,
Me.
that's for the bells.
No, we're talking about the, oh, so
Just
yes,
the-
Kelly, it was $150.
Okay, thank you.
So just order them and then Diana, you have access, or you can just reimburse her the costs.
Okay.
The books,
Yes.
I told him that what we decided we were gonna do, and he's thrilled.
Oh, good.
He's trying to expand on that, but I also called the library and talked to Kathy, and she said she's submitting it to be approved, and as soon as it's approved, they'll get back to us. And then we can schedule a date, to go to the library. The guy will come with his books and do book signing.
Oh, good.
And we can wrap the books.
Oh, good. So, but we're already purchasing,
That was already decided on at the last meeting,
that we purchased the books.
but I haven't bought any,
Okay.
I don't have this.
Well, didn't we allotted you?
No. No, we
Yeah.
just, we just voted that we were going to buy the book.
And we allotted $110 for it.
Okay, so do you want me to go ahead and buy them?
Buy them and then okay, Diana reimburse her.
Okay,
Huh? You got the checkbook, don't you?
I got nothing.
You didn't get a checkbook yet?
No,
I didn't get a checkbook.
do we have our own checkbook? or-
We opened the checking account, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a checking account. Money's in there.
$10.
Talk to Robert.
They have a.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have a check. Do you want me to hand the check right now to him?
I don't know.
Just get back.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we allotted 65.
So I can hand the check right now.
Yeah, we allotted the money.
So it's 110 for.
So, yeah, I think it was 110 to buy the books and we allotted the money. So,
110 for the books.
yep,
And 150.
50.
For the bells.
What is up to 150, so we don't know what she's actually gonna spend yet.
Okay.
Because we don't have a debit card or anything, nothing. Okay, okay.
Yeah, you want my debit card? We'll get your card.
Member staff and public shirts, need it, yes, I just need to get sizes. I was,
Good.
given, I think it was $200 some to spend up to.
Could John send a piece of paper around and we all just write our size
So,
on it?
did we source them and we have,
I'm able to just do them at house.
then we're not paying anything.
Okay, fine, oh,
What
okay.
about the t-shirts?
That's the allotted, that we were gonna reimburse the committee. So the committee was gonna buy them, but then there's members for our shirts.
In the t-shirts,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just got some.
Skipping your exercise.
no, I have no idea. And then you could just wear.
Yeah, so what we had said, any shirts that we get, we would just reimburse back to the committee.
Yeah.
So, but everyone outside of that, yeah, so I'll be able to just continually make them.
No, how much do we have cost?
They're about 10 bucks, I think, want to say about $10 a piece. We allotted so much for it.
You should be aware that the historical committee has come out with a shirt too, that they're.
Members
It's,
volunteer.
Yeah, ours is just,
I think we're gonna
So
do
we
70.
can get these in time for the member.
I will, yeah, I can get them, yeah. Yeah, we can do them very, very quick.
What are we doing on the back again?
Member, member, staff and public, member, staff and volunteer.
$3.
I thought
Red,
one,
white, blue, and
one color we were selling or something.
The white ones we're selling.
Yeah.
The red ones are members.
And the white one's gonna say
And the-
what?
What?
The white one's gonna say what?
Volunteer.
So which ones are we selling? The volunteer ones?
I'm not even sure we want to have it say volunteer.
Well, no, we haven't really, we didn't, actually, we were going to not decide on what we're doing with the white ones, but the blue and red ones, we're gonna say member and staff.
Correct, the red and blue ones in the rear parking, Gil and I read on 1776 on the back, the white.
So we members or we staff?
Yeah, but we haven't even, we can design those and when we're ready for sale.
What's the difference between member and staff? Is David Grubb staff and we're members?
Members and volunteers.
Members and volunteers.
And then the white.
Members were ex officio and voting members.
Okay. So we're members.
So we're blue?
We are, it's in the minutes.
Are we red or blue? I can't remember.
We were red.
We were
Thank
red,
you.
So we're red, we're staff?
volunteer, yep,
No. red
Members are red.
members.
Or we're-
red's members,
Red members,
blue is volunteer,
volunteers.
white is to be sold.
Correct.
Red is member.
Yeah.
Blue is volunteer. White is sold.
Yes. So I'll get all those, I guess,
I think I'll get one in each,
okay.
and I can choose. I wanna be
You
member.
can buy anything you want. I'll get them made and then we'll just, whatever the cost is, and then, yeah, the ones that we're gonna sell are gonna be, sold for profit.
Okay.
But these ones will be, so whatever the cost ends up being by the time I get the vinyl and the shirts.
No, you don't have to put the names on them, are you?
We can put the names on it if you want.
We don't have to, but
It's up to you.
whatever you want to.
I wouldn't
It's up to you.
But we should put that on our website so people can
Right
start.
away.
Yeah.
So as soon as we
So
have
they can
one
order.
printed.
Okay.
We should have Ice take the picture. The one they took the big, at the Historical
Mhm.
Society, just
All right, so that's, logo, so are we still on track with just keeping the logo the way it is? Dan,
Yeah.
so we go with the logo, we're not gonna change it, because once it's on the shirt, it's pretty much permanent.
Was it his daughter?
I don't have a problem with the logo.
I like the logo, it's nice and simple. The picture that was, the picture, we can post it, place it, probably get, recreation painting of it, something.
Put it on point, stand out.
We could do it, yeah,
What do you think?
we could do that, because we're still talking with doing the wooden nickels.
So what are we? This is-
We're
We're
members,
Members.
it's member volunteer, and then, the white ones are to sell.
I don't wanna do,
All right, so
but you can always choose.
historical tours and haunted Halloween historical tour update. Do you have any update on that?
No,
No,
no.
just put it on.
So my idea is this, for the historic, to get people to go to the cemeteries and everything else. If we do a haunted Halloween, because we don't do anything for Halloween in Borica.
Other than what Faith Brody does, it used to do at BATV.
Huh?
Faith Brody's haunted. She used to do a BATV that she did at the Pinehurst VFW this year, last year,
Yeah, I mean,
but that's like the only. no.
yes, so this would be its 50th,
Yeah,
to see the different things of Borica, the different historical things. And people can dress up. I already bought a costume, so.
So we've already approved this.
Yeah.
Would you just want to start making progress on getting it set up?
Yeah, I just haven't done anything on it.
Do you
So-
have thoughts on tour guides or how that would work?
No, there would have to be, because you said last time, Tom.
Yeah, so I didn't know if that's what you're referring to or if we were.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him yet.
Oh, so.
And I think Dan,
There are several tours that already exist within the town for this event, this type of an event. There's one the Girl Scouts did within the Center District.
okay,
That's available through the library, I believe.
The Halloween one, or are we talking about?
No,
regular
just
stuff?
general
Yep.
tours. Then theirs was a historic tour.
Mhm.
They did. And, but again, this is an opportunity, right, to have the historical homes. Your Halloween perspective
Mhm.
could be built into that to where you go to the historic homes and it's.
it's like an education,
Yeah.
because you want to get kids involved. Kids
Well-
don't want to go on a bus to,
So with the Halloween one, that's where we could use the school's drama department,
right,
if that's, yep, so. Cause that wouldn't be till October anyways, so that'd be school year 2025.
no, hopefully I can get it together by then, by the end of the year, and then
Yeah, but we'll have to get in contact with them anyways.
Right.
That way they can set their, they can come up.
I'd like to get it done so that they can build it into their,
And when did we want to start the historic tour, just the regular historic tour?
Tell you probably in September,
Okay.
right? I mean, do it while it's still somewhat decent out.
Does anyone want to lead that as a working group?
I think we already have one.
Do we have? Yeah. What's a working group?
I'm looking.
Historical
Dan
core.
Burns, Diane Saunders, Kelly I'm sorry, I can't speak. Kelly Sardina, Isaac Brightwhitner, and Tommy Gonzalez.
Okay.
you're on that.
Yes.
You
Took you-
keep saying something.
Who, do we have a designated lead?
Dan was number one on that,
So Dan,
but Diane.
does anyone want to designate lead on that or?
On the Halloween.
No, on this regular historic tours.
Yeah, I'll do that. I mean, Diane is on it, so, I mean, and we can look at how does that fit between what she's doing and then maybe it's just one event that has a slant to it.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, so I think if we're doing the historic, maybe multiple, if possible. It's Halloween's just gonna, I don't know, it's up to you. We just do it a month. So, yeah, run with it.
All right, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Hold
Okay.
on a minute. Kelly,
You hear me?
Yes, sorry,
what size t-shirt do you want?
medium.
Oh,
John-
get her a white shirt.
John Burrows.
Hi.
What-
No.
He's not even listening.
No, John.
What size t-shirt do you want?
An extra large, please.
All right, Donnie,
Yes,
you're an ex officio member of this committee. What size t-shirt do you want?
extra large is fine.
Thank you.
And you're blue.
Hey, what about one for Donnie's dog? Did they make one for him
Smoker
too?
get one?
He's an old man. I don't think he'll be there. Sorry.
It's nice.
Johnny, did you say extra large?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Guest, you're not a member of the committee. You're a guest, right?
That's his children.
Okay, up. Guess I scared them off.
That was.
That was a little.
Scared my children.
How did I scare you?
Those are my children on the guest.
Well, you didn't.
They were watching. They saw dad on TV.
Well, they didn't have to get off. I'm sorry.
You scared them. No, they were nightmares. They were home with
Yeah,
this.
seriously.
Scared his kid. That's your parent. Now he's consoling them.
I know.
He's like, I'm so sorry.
So sorry. I know my son. So we're good. We already went over the Ditson event on the 30th. Filled us in on that, so that's good.
Please advertise it, help us push it.
Yes, so we put it on Facebook page. It's been on the Facebook page.
Is that right? Is the?
It's in the
No, I can
council
put-
of Aging thing.
I can put anything on Facebook, but not on our website. So.
We have talked to,
Stan, is the event rain or shine?
Yeah.
alright, and then we gotta talk to Robin about this, the sign.
Rain or dry.
Yeah.
Rain, it'll be in the cafeteria.
It's the one that says not available till April 1st,
Clancy said he was gonna go out and change it for us, but.
personally.
Right,
Yes.
that's what he said last meeting. So we got permission to use the sign. When is the date on that?
March 30th is the,
Yeah, we can go out before it's
You
available.
have your message already scripted?
Michelle was,
Michelle, there's a.
you said last meeting.
Wait, what's that?
You said last meeting you would figure out what to put, what you want him to put on the sign.
That?
Or it was Al.
There's a form at the town manager's
Huh?
office that gives you the exact number of squares you have to work with.
Oh.
And less is better.
Quick.
Yeah,
So
and
what's-
short.
Guys, what do we wanna put, what do we wanna advertise first?
Well, we have to
The
advertise
Thomas
the
Dixon.
30th. 30th is the first.
Yeah.
Celebrate Thomas
Which is-
Dixon, March 30th,
So hopefully we can get it.
1 p.m. Done.
It should be her because
Okay,
we're not
on it.
celebrating.
We talked about
Okay.
We
this.
should be celebrating him getting,
You're honored, Thomas Dixon.
Well, I mean, you could.
unless you supported the.
Alright, so we're gonna do all that.
Well, don't forget, Grace is here for
I'll do that tomorrow.
ornaments,
Yes,
so that's under this category, isn't it?
it is, yes.
Okay, so this is just an idea, whatever you like, I made it too big, but I did text you and then email you the smaller.
Yep.
The actual picture with the note. So what it is, it's an ornament and it's for the 250. This is for Virginia. And we change it to Billerica, Massachusetts. The established date and time.
Can you hold it
Then
up? so
on
we
the-
can-
Yeah, we will.
Okay, thank you, sorry. guys.
Along with it, gave a little description of history that would go along with it, of Billerica.
Like that?
When it
I
gets
don't
to
know
us,
what that's
we'll
made
look
out
at
of.
it.
I don't think it's a company
When it
that
gets
makes
to us, we need to hold it.
Yeah, so that might just make it out of wood.
That's how I could look at it.
Fix to make it,
Yeah.
or whatever, just an idea. And the other thing was, I remember buying one of these a long time ago, it's the old, it's in school.
Mhm.
And I didn't know if this is something that
Grace.
another, oh, yeah. Another thing could sell or whatever, and I was thinking if you do make
Kelly.
an ornament, I was thinking if.
Can you
why
see
not
it?
Make it just like.
Yeah, just
250
go
and
back
make it
A little bit, that's nice.
We're only gonna
Oh, and
sell
then like down to the back, it's
200.
one of one or two.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I think that's a good idea.
Right, so.
Makes it kind of like, people
And
jump on it.
the craft show, we just have somebody sell them,
Mhm.
and that's what we just want to happen for December 2016.
So
Diana, for the craft show, yeah.
Huh?
Grace sent me this. And so, it's gonna, roughly have, maybe the dates or Billerica, Mass on the outer edges. It'll talk about we'll have our emblem, our tricorn, the rifle, the musket. And then we'll just say, America's 250th
Mhm.
on it, and, so we should have that.
So she'll do a mock-up, cause I have the laser engraver.
Yeah, she's gonna
We're
get,
gonna do them on wood.
I don't know what we're doing.
We can only do acrylic and wood. I think
have
one more
to put
thing.
together some sketches so that the committee can see them and decide what they want to do, right? And at that point, we can figure out what the medium will be that will be put on, whether it's wood or metal or.
Well, the engraver here only does acrylic and wood.
Yeah, it does acrylic wood, I think another balance desk, yeah.
And I like Grace's idea of limiting the 250
Yeah.
to make a demand for
So,
Limited edition.
all right, so Dan, you're working with Grace on getting that situated, okay?
Okay, what was the picture on this? What, right, this is a Ditson, but I mean, what was the, for the 250th?
Tara.
No, this
that
thing
was- that was just an idea.
I sorry, yes.
That's a fundraiser.
That's a fundraiser idea.
She was saying make one of those with our logo on it and sell it.
Oh,
Or whatever.
Separately
Something
from that.
historic To whatever you guys.
We could do the, like, Revolutionary Memorial or something.
yeah, we could do the memorial.
Like 250 anniversary, like you're just saying, Bill Rick was established.
Yep.
So what, 1775 or.
1655.
They've gone off 100 years, but anyways, you could design it, I'm sure, we could come up with an idea or something.
So,
Don't we have the boot shop
Onto this?
at the high school?
yeah, so we gonna shoot
The middle school.
two separate things, ornament and,
Hold on.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just an idea.
Okay, listen. I just asked our superintendent, we do have wood shops here. See, my whole thing is to get the kids involved. If you haven't noticed that yet.
Yeah, we've noticed.
Have you noticed?
Yeah.
You noticed that with the other committees too.
Yes.
So that would be something that they may be able to,
Sure, I'd love to
Do.
look into that. So it's similar to that is what you're thinking in terms of shape and painted.
It's two different things.
It's two different things.
One's an ornament and then one's the
Plaque.
Correct.
But this could be like the Minuteman up the center, the revolution.
That's just a kind of cool, painted with some kind of a decal that they.
Kelly,
Right,
that
I mean,
one,
they-
Terry, that one that Diana's holding.
Yeah.
Is something the Billerica Scholarship Foundation sells as a fundraiser, and they have. I think all the schools, the gazebo, possibly town hall, but that doesn't mean we can't make our own.
But that'd be something like the kids
Get their
Could
hands
get
on, contribute.
get into.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure they can come up with them.
Well, this great.
Definitely.
Okay. So we're gonna plan on doing both.
Pass it around.
Oh, sorry.
I think
That's
they
okay.
they don't have to go out simultaneously.
No, they don't have to go at the
No,
same
this would
time.
be more Christmas.
So this would be,
Yeah.
I think, for December.
That can be all the way
2
through.
years.
Yeah.
And if it's, John, if it's any help, but I mean, I think stuff like that, too, such.
Well, if we make those wood things, we could sell them at next year's Yankee Doodle when we're gonna be in the parade.
Yep.
And promote them then.
Right,
All right.
but that would be
Um,
something that the kids could,
And we can just.
So-
couldn't-
Put on
Got
that.
my hand up, guys.
Oh, Kelly, go ahead.
Couldn't we use the wood shop since we do have the students to do,
Yeah.
like the
We just-
That was
historic
what Carrie's
houses?
looking into that.
No, that's what Carrie said, and we could do the shapes of the historic houses what are in the center, so it's not, it's still using some of what the scholarships fund does, but adding a little bit more to it for later when like 250's done and over, you'll still have some of the involvement of the kids still to
Yeah.
continue.
All right, so Dan's working with Grace on coming up with the design. When you have the design, let me know. I'm gonna see
You
what
want a minute?
we can do as far
Nice
as.
job,
making them.
Grace, thank you.
Today, so I should expect to have it.
Okay,
Now,
and the ornaments, we could probably start chipping away at them for Christmas. The ornaments I can probably, because my girlfriend Gabby's got the engraver, she put them through,
Yeah.
as long as they're wood.
So.
Like, if you
yeah, I
have
can
to,
send it.
organizing it, or when you do it, just let me know. I can-
Yeah, I'll send
Perfect.
out, when she gives me what she's doing, I'll send it out to you and Chris.
So what, yeah.
Go to the committee. Committee can critique it in terms of, hey, why don't we do this instead of that, or whatever. We get a design that we like. That's what we go forward.
Perfect. Okay. So I had talked with Donnie the other day about getting the veterans involved for everything outside of Revolutionary Retirement Period. This is everything 250 and forward. Donnie, is there anything you'd like to say that we'd be able to kind of do? I mean, 'cause I know there's still, I had mentioned, is there still some World War II vets that we could, not I don't want to say showcase, but, celebrate them, honor. Donnie?
There are, that I know of, at least 1 or 2 World War II vets still in Barica. How would you honor them through what you're looking to do is a good question. And the thought would be quickly, do you tie it around a World War II day on the calendar? Right? So you got like Normandy, you have, there's a few days throughout the calendar year that are military holidays around World War II, right? Pearl Harbor is one of them. Do we pick one of those days and do something around World War II to honor them? That's a good question. I don't know. We could definitely think of ideas. There are things out there that we could do throughout the calendar year to honor and showcase different demographics of our military's history through our veterans. I'm open to ideas.
Yeah. Should we do several? I mean.
Yeah, you
World
could.
War I, Korea.
Well, so it's more so who do we have in town that's a lot, there's no World War One
No.
veterans.
World War II are dying out.
Yep, we got 2.
Korean.
Korean, Vietnam,
Well, that's what I'm just saying is that, just like you and I were, you could do several events.
correct.
Right? This one is focused on World War II, the
Mhm.
next one is on Korea, the next one is on Vietnam.
Mhm.
And
my God,
so
great.
forth. Just so that we don't have veterans feeling left out.
Oh, yeah, no, it's everything from 250
Yeah.
and forward.
Yeah.
Maybe for some of the older wards that there are less involved people still around. Johnny, maybe you can find out, like the World War II veterans, say there are 2. Maybe we
Yeah.
ask them, where did you serve?
Mhm.
And
Yeah. Yep.
Put them on our.
then we focus on, these are our Bill Ricker veterans who served in World War II at this location, and my history is terrible, don't look at me.
Yep.
And they were in Normandy, so then we do
Correct.
something
Yep.
around Normandy,
Yep,
because, around D-Day, because that's where our veterans happen to be. And if
correct.
it's a more recent war and they're everywhere, then we just pick something that covers the box, but.
Yep.
Tailor it to your.
Can I ask a question, Donnie?
Yeah.
Hey, Donnie, it's Gil. How you doing?
How you doing, buddy?
Got a question for you. The thing you're doing this weekend, the Vietnam Veterans thing.
Yep.
Any way you could just mention that we exist, that there is a 250th, give us a plug?
So I'm actually sitting here working on the program for Saturday as we speak. So yes, I can add a slide in for you.
Awesome.
Great. Nice job today, by the way.
Thank you.
Perfect. So, yeah, so if we can, Donnie, if we can keep in touch with you as far as, because I'm assuming the World War II vets, they're not gonna be up for much.
Correct. Yep.
So, keeping it very basic for them, maybe, John with his truck we can tote them around for a little bit of a parade type of thing.
Where?
I don't know, wherever they wanna go, take them out for coffees
Okay, I think the job is.
with the American flag, you know what I mean? So, like something easy, basic. Where, people can come and meet them, basically,
Yeah.
and I don't know what their health conditions are, so I don't know.
So
And
think about it. They're
after-
gonna be middle to late 90s, if not near the hundreds.
Correct, so like masks, it would have to be masks and.
Yeah.
96 in East Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'd be looking at like masks.
They won't be able to get with my truck. We'll have to borrow like a truck. the
You know what I'm
bus
saying.
Council on Aging.
So would the 250th committee be willing to work with the Historical Society on an event for Veterans Day? And Donnie, that would include that would include you,
Don't pay attention.
I know. Donnie, did you hear that?
I heard it. Yep. So
So we have, go ahead,
this Veterans Day.
it could be this Veterans Day or next.
Okay, just curious. I'm doing something with the school on the 10th of November. Other than that, I am totally flexible.
Because we have somebody who served in Vietnam who is donating a lot of his things to display in the museum at the Historical Society. And I've spoken to some of the other people in our group who are veterans and said, why don't we do something and showcase all the different the wars for veterans?
Mhm.
So we could do something at the Sexton House and have the veterans there if they'd be willing to come out. I don't know how much they travel, but I know there's still Vietnam veterans who would, who might be willing to come for that. And then really advertise it and have people come and meet them there.
If I may, well, Michelle, I had my hand up.
Go
I'm
ahead, Kelly,
sorry.
yep, go ahead.
While we have Donnie on the line, I know that we had talked about the cleaning of the headstones. And I know that Donnie knows quite a bit about this and has, I guess, taken courses in how to do it correctly, Donnie? If I'm
Correct, yep.
right on that. So he was the gentleman, I think, Michelle, I had said something for us to reach out to him and because I know this is a passion of Donnie's to get some of these headstones cleaned. And maybe we can organize with him some type of class to put together so we can get out and clean some of these headstones. So I just wanted to remind you guys of that. And since we have them
Yeah.
online right now to plug it,
So I'll tell you, April 11th will be my first day cleaning a veterans grave in Barica. So I'm starting to do some through our office and bring veterans out to show them how to do it. So I'm happy, Kelly, to work with you all if you want to learn it as well.
yeah, I'll see you on April 11th. I'll stop in your office
All right.
and organize something to come together, but I'll see you on the 11th, see you before the
Okay.
11th, but write me in for that.
Sounds good.
Donnie, could we schedule something so that others could learn how to clean them too?
Absolutely. Yep. That's
Because,
fine.
because the 11th is probably not gonna work for me. And that's
I know.
something
It's a
that I'd
weekday.
love to do.
Yeah. I can do a weekend. We actually have a lot of material that I bought in town hall, pump buckets, plastic scrapers. I bought cleaning kits for I'd say a dozen or so people. So if we can coordinate a weekend that works, I'll be happy to come out there and show you guys on a weekend.
Awesome. But I'll still see you on the 11th. I'll see you
That's fine.
before that, so.
Okay, so Donnie, is it possible for next meeting to put a list of the veterans per different war? So we can kind of get an idea and maybe find who'd be interested?
That's a great question. So I have a master list of the veterans in residence who's in town.
Yep.
I don't have them broken down by branches or by service errors. the only breakdown I have besides address is birth dates. But I could work on slowly putting together a document like this for you if you'd like. Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
not
I
by
mean-
next meeting. It's gonna take too long. But yeah, I can definitely work on that for you.
Well, I mean, no, it doesn't have to be, just maybe even just a couple, maybe start with the oldest.
Sure. Yep, I can do that.
And, cause I mean, if, you know, we don't wanna go 8 months from now and one of the months, you know.
We do.
Well,
You know where I'm going with that.
Yeah, I can tell you, so
Yeah.
right now, I'm working on a Viet.
Go ahead, Donnie.
So right now, I'm actually working on my Vietnam Veterans event for Saturday, and as Gil mentioned, we had one today. We had today probably about 60 Vietnam vets, and I have close to 80 registered to be honored on Saturday. To give you a ballpark, right? So I'm kind of already building that database slowly.
Okay.
So, I'm happy to work with you. We can start from World War II and go forward.
So, yeah, maybe if you could find the interest in the World War II vets.
Sure.
For next meeting, just in case, I mean.
I can do that.
We don't
That's
end
fine.
up doing for, you know, you lot can change in short time.
Easy enough.
So then, cool, awesome. Thank you, Donnie, and, yeah, no, I think it's great.
Before Donnie goes.
Yeah,
Beyond Vietnam, you doing Gulf War too?
we're doing all the way, every vet, all the way through. Yep.
All four.
They're one of the biggest parts of the country, right? They're one of the biggest parts of the 250 years, the reason we live free today. So I think all the way through would be
Right
good.
up.
Right?
You bet.
No. No,
Um,
my grandfather told
what
me to kill me if I.
What
would.
time is what time is the event on Saturday?
Noon.
Karen, do you know all these dates and times by heart?
I'm helping Donnie, so I know it's.
Yeah.
I feel like your recall for all of this is
She's like
quite
Rain Man.
impressive.
All right, so, any other questions for Donnie? No? Cool, all right, 14, we're gonna table that for next meeting. Getting late, 15, I want to see if Kat has an update on state funding from the mural artist.
So, one copy of examples that I can pass around. So the mural artist that we're specifically looking at is Eric Dowdell, and here's just a couple examples of other towns that he's done a folk art mural for. So what you'll see on these is the same basic kind of style where it's all over buildings, just like that block that was getting passed around. But all of our key buildings in that same kind of style, stacked on top of each other, probably not. As far as this one is next door to that one, which is south of that one. But you have the historic theme in the foreground, so probably Thomas Stetson and other notable stories. The town common itself, the monuments that we have on town common, then you have the main buildings. And then as you see in the background of these examples, you have the open space that we love. So we have all the forests and the rivers, obviously we have the skyline, the distance. What I really love, the Solvang example. I don't know if anybody's ever been to Solvang, California, but it's amazing. You can actually see
Sarah,
the
you
mountains
sleeping?
that are next to the ocean, and then the vineyards, and then the missions, and
Thank
then
you.
the town. So they really take all of these details, all these pieces. And Vernal, there's all sorts of.
Yeah.
I don't even know what those buildings are, because I don't know Vernal, but they obviously have a big dinosaur legacy, because you can see all of it. So that's kind of what it looks like. For the grant itself.
Thank you.
It's up to. So for a 6-foot by 8-foot wall mural as a puzzle. And 2,000 special edition puzzles to give out, as well as the original signed artwork and 3 screened canvases. It is $150,000. So the state grant is up to $100,000. So if we want to go for the bigger one, we're still going to have to fundraise $50,000 more somewhere. So we do know that the Merrimack Valley Convention and Visitors Bureau, the CVB, has a matchmaking program for corporate sponsors. So that might be a good way to try to get some more corporate donations for the specific project rather than trying to interfere with the day-to-day fundraising.
Where are you gonna put that?
we would have a public process to decide, but my first thought is maybe over by the historic mills or over at the new old Ditson Park. The old Ditson New Park.
What, the mural?
No.
Also, when they do a new park, we have a wall built for a mural.
Basically just like a
Mhm.
structure billboard.
Yeah. And then where would the canvases go?
Wherever we, as the collective consensus
Mhm.
building town would want them to go.
Yeah, that's cool. Why don't, can I make a suggestion? Of course.
How about the new,
I mean, the mural sounds cool, but, why not make these into puzzles?
They are, in fact, it comes with 2,000 of them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So 150 covers all that.
So if
Mural-
there was a private donation specifically from a nonprofit, if they were to donate that last 50,000, that's a huge ask, I know. But the retail value for 2,000 puzzles, if you charge $25 each, is $50,000. So you could make that money back
Yeah.
by selling this, so.
I'm just afraid of mural. You know how kids are at night and graffiti and all that, that.
It could be endorsed
Why
instead.
could we do the way when you walk up the front door of the town hall?
Could be in the
Yeah.
library,
Right there, between the
Says
two
library.
auditorium doors.
library.
the new rec center?
Eh,
Something,
Oh, I put it somewhere where it's protected.
library.
you know,
But it's up to the public, it's up to the town and it's
Yeah.
fine. We have
I
no
think that's
restriction on
good.
that. So,
Those are the best.
Kat, how can we go about getting the corporate, is there a way we can get the big corporate sponsors?
So as far as the regional, the CVB, Merrimack Valley's thing, I can submit this project to their website any day now. So I haven't submitted anything to them because you guys have so many different ideas right now. Nothing is really finalized. Everything is competing for attention and for potential dollars. So I didn't want to inundate their system with 5, 10 different requests just for Bill Ripken. So I wanted to make sure that this committee has a few things that you guys know you really want to look at and you really want to seek those sponsorships for. So if this is one of them, I'm happy to put it on that list.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to be submitting the state grant, which is for up to $100,000.
Okay.
If we want it indoors, then we don't want it 6 feet by 8 feet, and we just want it 3 feet by 4 feet and fewer than 2,000 puzzles, but I don't remember the exact number. Then that's 50,000 total, so the grant would cover it.
Okay.
You know what would be cool too, see how you got 3 canvases right there? As you come into town hall, I mean, I don't know what the cost of coming and painting something. As time went on, and then by the time the 250 comes, is completed, it's just part of the process of watching it happen too, you know? I mean, that would be cool, something like that up in the hallway.
So I would say as a committee as a whole, I think we're all in favor of this mural.
Yeah.
I would say, and let me know your thoughts, I think as we go ahead with go all in with the Merrimack Valley. And try to get the corporate sponsors to make up that extra 50, any fundraising we get. You know, we can use to other things, but
So you think we can get 100,000
From
from
the-
the state?
I believe it's competitive for this, yes. I can never guarantee that a grant application is accepted and awarded. But the grant is for up to $100,000 if we get it.
Do we have to commit to doing this before we do grants?
No,
Can we wait until we find out if we get the money? Is $150,000 worth of nightmares?
I agree.
when do we have to commit to the artist?
So they said pretty much anytime he travels all around the country for the various places, so whenever works for our schedule works for him.
How long does the grant take to get approved
Second.
or awarded? Cause I mean, there's, large corporate companies that have been in town for a long time, they could very well be in this
It
mural.
would finalize by the end of August 2026 when the work is done. So I think that would be perfect timing for the artist schedule, which basically takes a year start to finish. So 1 to 2 months of kind of researching and getting things set up, 2 to 6 months of actually sketching it out, coming to us saying, does this work for you guys? And then finalizing and scheduling and unveiling events is 6 to 12 months after.
So the unveiling wouldn't be until 2027.
You said August
No.
26th.
So the award would be in 2025.
Okay.
So then we'd have to spend the money by summer 2026. That's the final report.
Okay, so-
that's closing out of the-
So we would know if we have the money come August of 2025 from the state.
Can't see the exact month of the awards being noticed, but yes, around there.
Around
What
August.
department of the state has responsibility? Would be approving it?
I didn't put any numbers, so it's out of Mass 250. It's their second round of.
It's not,
MA.
it's not the legislature, it's something else.
It's the Mass 250. Right?
Yeah, MA 250 coordinator is the person that I would reach out to with questions. Executive Office of Economic Development through the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism.
Okay, so can we authorize Kat to go forward and submit the full application?
So,
You did that last month.
oh,
Oh, so you already
do that.
Yeah, it's just an update. We have more.
Yeah, we authorized that.
Okay, so you're already putting the application in, so.
So if you guys are good with me also going to CVB for the other 50,000 or however much we would need, we don't know exactly what's the grant, but.
Two sizes, 6 by 8 was one, what was the other one?
3 by 4 is the smaller.
I think 3 by 4 is too small. Because if you look at those screens, that's approximately 4 by 6.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
And that's almost 6 by, 2 of those are almost 6 by 8.
let's see, yeah, 4 by 8.
4 by 8, so that's.
All right, so we need a motion for,
For CAC to submit grant application to CVB for $50,000 corporate sponsor for this hero.
so move.
I'll make that motion.
Oh, I thought.
Second.
I thought you were just telling us what you need.
Oh, that's what I wrote down.
seconded?
Yeah.
All right, roll.
So 50K package is 6 feet by 8.
Oh, wow, that's not very good.
So that's from
6
here
feet
to
by 8
there,
feet, pretty
and
big.
2 feet tall.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
150,000, I'm just saying.
No, that's including puzzles and the.
Yeah, the puzzles are 50, yeah.
And then the.
Canvas.
Canvases.
I have the full list of what that package. So the original art, which is 24 inches by 30 inches, that's what he physically will sketch out and then he will sign it, he will frame it. So that is ours. Special edition puzzles, 2,000 of them, which typically retail value would be 49,980. We resold them for $24 each.
Okay.
Each puzzle includes a collectible puzzle box, poster insert with key identifying up to 30 points of interest or fun facts that tell the story of your community, and a QR code to the Dowdle video short. Dowdle is the artist name. So as he's going through everything, there is going to be a video short. It's 5 to 7 minutes, and any viewer of this video is going to see the artist in Billerica as he explores the city and highlights what makes the community unique and special. So as he's going through and looking at, here's the dam. Is the dam going away? Is it coming back? We don't know what he's gonna do with the dam, so artist interpretation there. But the mills, the common, everything that he's discovering, he's going to put into this video so people can use. So that's hype, that's tourism for the town. That's dollars coming in to get people interested.
And-
coming to see it.
And to get the corporate sponsors, he could also put them in the,
Amazing.
in the painting.
Mhm.
And then they're forever more, memorialized in that painting.
So then it, of course, includes the 6 foot by 8 foot wall puzzle itself, an art package, which is an assorted quantity and sizes of canvas prints of this. So it's 8 32-inch by 40-inch signed, 3 32 by 40-inch unframed, 12 smaller versions unframed. So we have a few kind of special edition canvas.
Which we could auction.
Yeah, you can auction them off, sell them off, yeah.
We could actually put one in the library.
Yeah, but it said, how many is 12? What is that, how many?
12 smaller ones, yep.
Yeah, so you can auction those. Make some money
And
back.
then
Making big.
he does also.
Well, we gotta,
Social media and promotion of his unveiling event and the puzzle itself. And then his participation in the unveiling ceremony.
okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
And she knows you tell a lot better than I. Just to put it in perspective, 2,000 puzzles, you're not gonna get $25 for all. of them. You'll definitely get $25 for at least 1,000. At some point in time, as the
hype is over.
the hype is over with, we're gonna be marking them down to zero.
Which is,
Just be aware of that.
you can give them to the schools, you can get, yeah,
Right,
so,
but we can.
If we get the grants.
Yeah.
It's doable.
yeah.
Just,
I would love to agree with you, Al, but I can't. The recreation department did this years ago. With Monopoly, Brick Monopoly. I still have mine. If you don't wanna buy mine.
But
Okay,
they were a
focus.
lot.
Yeah, so let's finish, yeah, let's finish
But
up.
anyway, it's, you know, people are still looking to buy them today,
Okay,
and they sold out of them.
But did they make 2,000?
yeah, so that's all irrelevant.
So there. You know, the last 300.
You're amazing.
1,100 puzzles that don't get there, so that's kind of the complimentary addition.
Yeah.
that They send out, so I can't say invoice us for, don't give us puzzle, or give us.
It's all,
It's all part of
It's a
it.
package deal.
Added as a bonus.
Yep. so 150,000.
Even if the town wanted to donate or do giveaways, you know, we always do the chairs for retirements, things like
Mhm.
that. It's not unreasonable to think that some of those might be free gifts to certain service levels as well, so.
Perfect. All right, so, we have a motion, we had a second. Roll call vote, Taryn,
Yes,
Kelly,
Kelly,
Yes, sorry.
Burrow signed off, Thomas, Diana, Gil, Dan,
Yes.
Al,
Yes.
Joe, John, chairs aye. Discuss and vote on, vote on minutes from February 20th and March 11th meeting. Michelle, I think Kelly's email's wrong, cause she said she didn't receive it, it's Kelley.
Hold on. Okay.
I think you have it as Y,
Kelley.
EY,
Okay,
or whatever the rest is.
I'll fix that.
Yeah.
Okay, for discussion, I'll move to accept the minutes.
Move to accept.
second,
All right. Roll call, Taryn,
yes.
Kelly,
Yes,
Diana,
Yeah.
Gil,
Yes.
Thomas, Dan,
Yes.
Al, Joe,
Yes, which ones are we voting on right?
both of them.
Both.
John?
yes.
My chair's aye. Chamber report, great meeting. Go
Thank Christ.
home. Agenda items for next meeting, same thing, whatever you want on there, send it to me, we'll put it on. We're gonna cover a couple, lot shorter, it's gonna be a shorter meeting, cause we're gonna have the hour at the Commons. So we're gonna start keeping it nice and short, cause now it's up to fundraiser to bring us money.
I just wanted to give an update from Mary. She's going to have Mike Parker supervise the church group because they're so big at the VVP. So we do not have to worry about that. We're doing Asa Pollard, but that's prior to the 26th,
No.
correct?
No,
Asa Pollard is for the 26th, we're doing the common
Prior, okay.
Revolutionary.
Michelle, when you reach out to the Girl Scouts, maybe the Girl Scouts
Michelle,
can help
put
us
that
at
in your
Asa
binder.
Pollard and Chris Michelle, if you can come up with another historical location that one or the others of you can supervise, maybe the Girl Scouts can help us there as well.
If there's been a request for the Lowell.
I think wherever we end up should be high profile.
Yeah,
Lot of
just maybe
traffic.
we can get, I said to, maybe we can see if the Girl Scouts can help or you can assign people, and she said that's a good plan. So it sounds like if the Girl Scouts can't do it, then hopefully she can help us find people, and obviously we can find people as well.
Who wants to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I say.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Kelly?
Kelly?
I.
Aye.
They have,
Oh.
oh.
I saw you. I looked over and I said, yeah.